Ready for what is the great question. I think we're live. I think we're live. Welcome, everyone. I can't tell. The delay in this is killing me. We are live. Great. Hi. Welcome to the December iFanboy pre-hangout Tiki hour with Gordon and his family. They're going to sing for us.
We're going to sing a carol.
With the Partridge Family.
What carol do we know? We're none.
None. We know no girls.
Will you shut the TV thing?
We know them.
Will you go shut the TV thing?
Welcome, everyone. Good to see people here in the chat. There's people watching. Gordon and I are here. Some more friends are coming soon. Josephine's with Gordon. And
all the people watching.
Not a lot of people.
Hello, everyone. There's some possibly drunken cooking happening to my left, so that'll be noisy for a second. And then
can you tell everyone up there what we just made right before this?
A Yule log cake.
We made a Yule log cake.
What's that all about?
It's like a cake that you roll around frosting, and then you cover it with frosting, and you make it look like a piece of a tree trunk. You wanna grab it?
Was it real? Real chocolate?
Yeah. It collapsed a little, but we made our cake a little dense.
I'm going to zoom in on us here until people show up. There we go. Actually, no, that'll take Josephine off. That is awesome.
It's supposed to be
It's supposed to be like a swirl, but you can see it collapsed a little.
You would not pass through the Great British Bake Off.
No. Hey, Mike's here.
Right out.
It'll probably pass through me.
Oh, Christmas hats? Christmas hats? Do I have a Christmas hat?
She said I would pass the
You're going in and out, Connor.
Am I?
Would pass
Oh, you were.
No?
They did?
Gordon, how's my signal?
Better now.
Fine for me. It hasn't been in and out for me at all, but
So yeah, it's a little bit loose here.
cool. Hold it up.
To hang out.
Josephine made candies out of candy also.
Oh, great.
Wow.
Dee made those with her.
Yeah, melted.
Awesome. I am going in and out. Interesting. All right, let me check.
Oh, Mike found a hat.
Oh, yeah. We have a whole costume department. What do you think? This one or the a longer one?
Kyle said, I thought you just frosted a Duraflame.
What's a Duraflame?
Like
Is that a metaphor for something?
I can tell you that it was delicious, and I've never eaten a Duraflame, but the Yule log was delicious.
You know, I don't think I've really ever worn a Christmas hat, Santa hat.
Ever?
No, not really. I mean, yeah, not with any kind of purpose or intent. Yeah, thanks. Connor, you have a lot more fur.
Yeah, Connor's very furry.
It's
like-
so cold here.
Mine's like the in-between fur. Yours is less fur.
I'm more of a California Santa. All right, what are you guys making? Oh, did you make the orgeat, Gordon? Did you finish it?
Yeah, but then Connor talked me into a King Kamehameha, so I haven't used the orgeat yet.
I didn't talk him into
Now
anything.
you're
I just
frozen.
told him what I was having.
Right. Well, that talked me into it.
Are we in? Oh, hi,
I
everybody.
think you're having problems as well. I'm definitely having problems. Maybe it's an LA problem.
Hi, Brad. Hi, Pete. Hi, Harley.
Okay.
Hi, Kyle. Hi, Tom. Hi, Sleepy. Hi from Houston. You know, Connor and I would normally be in Houston at this
Right
time
now.
of year. We would be at El Tiempo
Right
now, or at the Anvil.
Oh man, and it would be great.
Man. Oh, wow. All right, this is great. Well, I'm gonna make something.
My speed isn't fatal, but it's not great. I don't know what's going on.
That sounds like a line from like Blade Runner.
I didn't even tell you my story. I'll tell you that next time. All right, so let's say hi to everyone. I'm gonna put a poll in the.
So everyone asked what we're drinking. So I was gonna make my own creation, which is called a Ginger Not Marianne. But then Connor said King Kamehameha, and that's what I made.
I don't. What is that? I was gonna make a Mai Tai with this new Smith and Cross I just picked up.
Oh wow,
Very
yeah,
excited about that.
yeah.
But a King Kamehameha, is it a lot of pineapple juice or is it guava based?
It's
Is it
got
like guava?
it's got pineapple and hang on, it's got
Yes,
all.
Sleepy. Yes, Sleepy. Absolutely. 100%. 100%. And there's another place. What's the other place that we like? The orphanage.
Okay,
Well, that was like
A bakery.
in mine, Mike, I put honey syrup, passion fruit, pineapple, OJ, lime, Aperol, plantation, Smith and Cross, and some plantation 15-year.
A lot of vitamin C.
Shake it, pour it.
Shake it.
Wow, I can't
How's
see
everybody
my-
doing tonight?
Jeez.
Hi, everybody. Hope everybody's having a nice holiday. I'm going to start on my time because it's the Caribbean.
I went on a tiki search in Houston because of these tiki sessions. What?
Oh, there's
tiki-
a great downtown. There's a great downtown tiki bar. No, great tiki bar in downtown Houston that I went to. That's fantabulous. It's perfect. And there's also, it's right near where the Watch Factory bar is, near that hotel down there.
I'll be right back.
Downtown Houston is actually has a lot of really, really fun places that nobody knows about. Oh God, the floor's all wet. Oh. Well, no, I gotta make drinks.
Uh-oh, Connor's gone now.
Connor's gone. So it's
Me and Mike.
so the hostages. I think Keniola. That sounds right. So Gordon, how you doing?
Are there no
Nice tree.
I'm doing okay. I'm trying to wrap out the end of the year like everyone else.
Kyle, I've never heard of a sugar-free tiki drink. I
mean,
I don't think that's possible.
there's so much juice and rum.
Yeah.
It would be
I
impossible.
mean, rum itself, the base spirit is usually a rum, and that's
I'm gonna go sit.
a ton of sugar, I gotta tell you. Hi, I love your glasses.
Thank you.
You look really good. My glasses were not that cool when I was your age.
Have you ever
Look
met
really-
Mike in person or only on this thing?
Only on this thing.
Oh,
And I
well,
think
tonight, maybe we'll meet in person soon. Come to California.
We were supposed to be there in April.
Right.
I mean, I know that was a long time ago, but that was like we had that all planned, and Josephine was going to be there. We're going to go to Disneyland, the whole bit.
Well, Connor's moved to a whole new place.
Well,
He's moving.
it's a 2-bedroom, so I'm ready to drive out.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. Those are gonna be great. Oh, babe, I'll go somewhere else.
February, so
I said you're gonna be here.
What? Well, wait 1 sec.
Now I can. Man, I upgraded to Big Sur and everything was broken. I couldn't share my screen. I had to restart the browser.
I haven't done the Big Sur upgrade yet.
Ugh, annoying. All right.
Okay. Well, how about in the?
Just check what?
she has to check.
All right. Well, Whitney's making a gingerbread house, and I'm getting in the way, and I'm being too loud.
How's Whitney feeling? I need to respond to her.
Oh, she's dealing at she's hoping that it's not Meniere's disease, but you guys both have something similar, but she tends to get it because of the cold.
Yeah.
So I don't know. She just
Oh, I think so.
sorry everybody, this is bad radio. I'm trying to.
All kinds of technical problems. This is you're just watching us. Nothing works.
Is Hank joining? Oh, there's Ryan. Dr. Ryan.
That's
Hey.
Dr. Ryan.
Congratulate everybody.
The
Ryan,
honorable.
the most honorable Ryan. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Do you walk differently now? A
We're
little bit
proud of you, Ryan.
chest up.
I slept funny the other night, so I walk kind of like with a weird crick in my neck, but I don't think it has anything to do with the doctorate.
Hold.
Yeah, it has to do with how long it took me to get the doctorate.
The best part of being old is waking up, something hurts, and you don't. And how could that have happened?
The worst thing, I've got the thing where I can't even straight. I lay on my back, and there's a tunnel under my lower back that you could drive Hot Wheels cars through. Right? It's just so curved, and my right leg won't straighten. I have to put a weight on it.
I can't. My arms don't like. There's always a little bend.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, that's because you're constantly flexing.
Yeah.
You're like, hey. Actually,
What's
I just
the
got
matter?
some. So it's very exciting. What's the matter, you? What's the matter, you?
Ryan, what are you drinking?
I made it up and it's working quite nice. I'm calling this a Tiki Old Fashioned.
Okay.
Okay.
Have you guys
It
seen these? These pre-mixed Negronis.
Nice.
I mean, you've been showing me all your premix. Do you even mix anymore?
No, I'm gonna make it Mai Tai right now. I'm using store-bought orgeat though.
I made this with some lingonberry drink concentrates, which my Swedish wife always has on hand. Some Jamaican bitters, Jamaican number 2 bitters,
Ooh.
and a little tiki white rum.
hey, that's from Indiana. It's from
Distilled,
Bloomington, Indiana.
yeah, Bloomington, Indiana.
Cardinal Spirits. I know Tiki rum very well.
I like it. Sun's out, rum's out. That's what
They sponsor a lot of things that we do.
well, you can tell them I enjoy the product, and feel
I
free to
will.
send me. I can be bought
All right. I will.
For science.
with a little end of peel of orange, obviously. But I think it's very pretty, very pretty little old fashioned.
That's
The
great.
Hard Truth is another distillery in town, and it's also really good.
Thanks for all the congrats, everybody.
There you go.
I'm
Fine.
so proud. We knew you win.
Forever.
We have known you forever.
I think the question, instead of what are you drinking, it should be what hurts.
No, we did that last time too. We'll get to that one eventually.
We'll get there.
Breaking we are old.
Everything.
It's all right.
I'm on a medicine that makes me bloated, so that's like
Oh, no.
what people do.
You're bloated. Is that what you look like bloated? That's
No, this
no.
it makes me crave salt. So I didn't really pay attention. I was just eating Fritos after Fritos, and then my waist was 2.5 inches larger than normal.
Yeah, Wit's on a low salt diet trying to battle the vertigo. And
So
and it's been good. It's been working.
So I don't think we need to wait for Hank to talk about our drinks because he's late. He can talk about his when he gets here. We know Mike is making a Mai Tai.
Yeah.
We know Ryan made something up like Frankenstein now that he's a doctor.
Yeah.
Gordon, why don't you talk about what you're drinking?
I was mentioning it to Mike earlier when you were gone, but I have a King Kamehameha that I made myself with honey syrup, passion fruit syrup, homemade, both of those, pineapple juice, OJ, lime juice, Aperol, 2 types of plantation, and some Smith and Cross rum.
I like Smith and Cross.
Yeah. This drink became famous from Magnum PI. It was what Tom Selleck's character would have.
I did. You know
Magnum.
what? I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of Magnum. Yeah.
Magnum's
I
great.
love that show. I used to watch that show.
And then I would watch Simon and Simon after.
Simon
Oh,
Simon
yeah.
also great. 2 of the best theme songs of all time.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then there was that other one, the nerdy guy, Riptide.
We used Simon and Simon's theme song for the show once.
Really?
Yeah, it's a great guitar riff.
Oh yeah. Gerald Rainey, or is it Gerald McRaney?
Gerald McRaney and the blonde guy.
And the guy whose career, like one brother did really well.
Mhm.
Yeah, not so much. Maybe it's what happened.
Connor, are you having one too?
I have a King Kamehameha too, but mine is pre-made because I did not have time to mix drinks today.
I mean, Gordon, back me up on this. I feel like any drink I make with this is technically a tiki drink.
By label definition, yes.
Tiki rum. So I cannot lose.
No. It's
These
it's all tiki.
Mike, have you seen these bitters before? Bitter Cube, Jamaica. Oh, he's not there.
Yeah, I'm right
Jamaica number 2 from Bitter Cube.
Ooh, those are pretty. I would like a T-shirt.
Grapefruit, hibiscus, island spice, and vanilla.
Mm.
From Milwaukee. I have a very Midwest drink theme going here.
Yeah, wow. Oh man. Has anybody ever gum syrup instead of simple syrup?
I mean, I used lingonberry drink juice concentrate for this instead of simple syrup.
I'm trying to figure out the gum syrup situation. Maybe I'll try it.
It'll make your drink chewier, I guess.
I don't.
Ryan, are there on the street out there? Is that like your neighbor's house? It's all lit up back
Oh
there?
yeah, we have a neighbor. That is our neighbor's house. They go all out for every holiday, not just Christmas.
Nice.
The guy is literally out there. Like he'll be out there the day after Christmas, probably putting up decorations for New Year, and he'll be out there, the day after New Year's, putting up decorations for President's Day.
What does he
always-
put up for New Year's?
Yeah,
I
what
don't
is
know.
that?
Well, you have to do another hangout to find out. No,
Is
but
it
he's.
like-
They always go all out for every holiday, and they've been doing all their decorations this year have been like, for Easter they had like rabbits like demonstrating 6 feet apart, and it's all been very cute and fun.
Nice.
Given the horror of the year.
Yeah. So once again, if this is your first hangout, this is the
welcome.
happy hour, and it's a bit all over the map because we're all drinking.
TR,
And there's
wait.
4 of us.
TR started a milk discussion in the comments. I gotta say, oat milk's pretty great.
Oatly?
I like the Oatly stuff.
Okay, so TR, it depends. Here's the thing: as someone who's fully allergic to dairy, I definitely stay away from all of it. But it depends on the purpose of the milk. If it's a
True.
recipe or if you're drinking it or what, because there's like the cashew almond, which has more protein. So if it's like going in cereal and you want something that's not just going to be
And terrible for the environment.
carbs,
Is it?
right, well, it's also
Almond milk is terrible for the environment. Yeah.
almond
I
milk.
hear I hear all of these very defensive ads on NPR from the almond
Of course
growers.
you
going,
do.
It's not that bad.
It's because
No,
the
it
people
is.
who listen to NPR are the people who should be against the almond growers.
It takes less
that funny?
water. It takes less water than beef and milk still, but it's not great.
We've been doing a lot of oat milk, which has been great, and our use case scenario is mostly for coffee, and then I think oat milk and granola. It's a natural combination.
Right? Yep.
Yeah.
I still do a lot of soy milk too. I mean, soy milk is
Doesn't that make you?
is not a real issue. Like
Some
But you
people
can't do no beef milk.
I can't do anything from anything warm blooded.
Goat milk, platypus milk.
I cannot
get
do
lizard milk.
it.
A buddy of mine got bit by the tick that makes you allergic to mammal meat.
That's what
Wait, what?
Oh, is that what happened to you, Gordon?
Well, we have no other explanation.
So
Yeah,
Connor,
no,
a buddy of mine from grad school, actually found out about this at our at Julie and I's wedding. I saw him. I hadn't seen him for a while, and I was like, "Hey, man, you look great." And he was like, "Yeah." And he was really depressed because he lived in Nashville and couldn't eat barbecue ever. So
There's
Gordon,
a tick that bites you that makes you unable to eat meat.
it makes you allergic
Yes.
to mammal meat, and it's possible. It sometimes will go away with time, but doesn't always. And it's unclear what the limits are. Like, I want to get him to eat a possum because that's a marsupial. Maybe marsupials are far enough away that it wouldn't count.
I think we need to burn the earth to the ground.
We are.
Burn
Don't
it.
worry.
We're working on it. We're almost
No, but faster. But we need to get those
All of
ticks
our-
first.
With all this beef milk.
The ticks need to go down first.
TikTok.
Mike, are you done your drink?
Yeah, and I have a Tiki tea stir in it.
Oh, nice.
Milk, Kyle, but there are birds. There are a couple of types of birds that make milk called crop milk, and where cockroaches make a type of milk.
I'll be right.
So, like flamingos make a type of milk that looks like
milk chat.
blood,
Everything.
and pigeons make a type of
Yeah.
milk too.
You're right. This is very NPR. No, TR, I have not seen this week's Mandalorian, so don't talk about it. I'm behind.
You have to. The internet will try its best to destroy you with spoilers.
I'm like 4 weeks behind.
Oh my god! How can you even function?
Because there's so much other like stuff I have to.
No, I know that. What I mean is, like, I go on Instagram and immediately the Star Wars account has spoiled it, or
I just
Deadline sends an email at 8:30 in the morning about that day's episode, and I can't. I have to watch on Friday. I'll never.
Yeah, I
never
watch on
get
Friday.
spoiled. All right. So, Mike,
Talk about
let's
milk.
sit down. Let's talk about your drink.
Well, this is a nice Mai Tai with the Smith & Cross. I haven't, everybody talks about the Smith & Cross rum. It's pot still rum.
It's good. Do you not like it?
No, I like it a lot. No, I just haven't had a chance to really drink it. There's Whitney.
Hi.
Gordon says he's going to respond to you.
Okay, good.
I owe you some messages. I'm sorry.
Ask
Yeah.
him. I need some tips on how to drink.
Connor,
Oh.
your holiday card just arrived this evening.
She wants tips on how to drink alcohol.
You just do it. You're already.
You're already dizzy. Might as well get more dizzy.
You just go for it.
Just go for it, and then you don't get more dizzy, or you just get more
Wear a
dizzy.
helmet.
It's all the same dizzy. It's just.
Okay,
More
all
intense
right.
dizzy.
I'll try it.
I wish I had a better. Somebody was like, if you drink more, you get less dizzy. I was like, no. I'm just.
Yeah, you veer back. You bounce back to normalcy. That's right. She bought this
Alright.
herbal liqueur that's non-alcoholic that she can make sort of, I guess,
It's like
vegan.
this new trend
gin
of
and
like
tonic.
these
Yeah, no, I've seen those.
alcohol liquors. That it's not going to go over well with this crowd, but so it's like a special gin that you mix with tonic.
We were at Barkeeper and I heard her ask, "Do you have CBD alcohol?" And they were like, "No." It was like,
Get out.
Get out.
But they did have the non-alcoholic gin, so.
Yeah, gone. All right, can you take your speaker?
Oh yeah.
I would like to say that also Brad in the chat room says, speaking of someone who's had a TBI, just in your balance problems, just drink.
Right.
Yeah.
Good job, Kyle. I think you'll like it, Kyle. One show that I've not been enjoying, and I'm usually a big fan of, is Star Trek. That show's been pissing me off.
Oh, really? I haven't watched it all the new season at all. Has it not been good?
There's some good episodes. No, I mean it's kind of all over the place, but it sounds. My friend does, as you know, does the sound on it, all the sound effects, and his work has been amazing. So it's been fun to watch it with him in mind.
I just feel like that show is a mess, no matter what they do.
The second season was amazing with Pike. That shit was
Yeah, 'cause
unbelievable.
it was about cool characters from Star Trek.
Well, they're making that
Different characters.
And then we haven't talked about the 37 Star Wars shows that are coming to Disney Plus.
Are you excited about any of them?
I get.
How will I even keep up?
I just got.
Connor, I just sent you a photo if you want to share some bird milk.
Hey, what's the matter
What's
with you?
up, people?
Hey! If you need guns
smoking,
or drugs, he's here.
Yeah. Hank, can you show people your birthday present? Oh my God, look at that!
My
Your-
birthday present or
Not
Christmas
your birthday
present?
present. Your Hollywood gift.
I can't. But I did.
Okay.
You know what? Maybe I can. Hold on a second.
Is it in use right now?
Hold on a second.
Are you
Uh-oh.
using it right now? I think we wouldn't be able to see him if it was.
What is it?
You'll see.
It's a cache of weapons for the next heist.
Yeah. Wait till. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's amazing.
That thing is fucking huge.
Is that a smoker?
Yes.
They
It was
gave him a
his.
smoker.
It was his Christmas gift at work.
Where's he gonna put it?
Bathroom. You're gonna smoke in the bathtub. You know, you've heard of bathtub gin.
We can't hear you.
Bathtub ribs.
You're muted.
You're muted, Hank. You're muted, Hank. We can't hear what you're saying.
You're immutable.
We didn't hear anything you said.
I
No one ever-
was talking about how much you're going to enjoy my bathtub pork. Yeah, it was a gift from my boss. Very generous Christmas gift.
The thing about bathtub pork is you really want to soak it in your juices.
Yeah,
You want to get in there with the pork,
nice.
let it
slow-
all commingle, and then
Get personal in
Yeah.
there.
now that
yeah.
Hank's here, we can talk about having a Mike's lunch today.
Oh, guys.
Tell everybody about your lunch today, Mike.
So a while ago, a friend of mine's wife, was coming up from Orange County, and she really wanted to go to Sugar Taco. And I put a mental note. You know, anytime anybody says anything about going to a place specifically for tacos, I'll go. Absolutely. And so I'm there. I pull over. I'm going to my normal place, but I see Sugar Taco. Pass by. You know, I pull over. Plenty of parking on Melrose right now because of COVID, so easy enough. And I walk over. Beautiful wallpaper, hand painted, happy, fun people inside. Everybody looks very healthy, good skin. And I start ordering, and I get I'll get the pescado taco because she recommended it. Then the carnitas, and then I see something about how
Wait,
it's
what was that first one?
pescado fish.
Oh,
She's like, I highly recommend the fish. And then I'm looking at chorizo, and then I see it's gluten free, and I'm like, okay. And then there was a pollo, and there's no soy in the pollo. And then as I'm watching the taco order come out of my mouth, I see a sign very, very much right in my face. It's 100% vegan place. So everything that I'm ordering is not what I'm supposed to be ordering, right? And I'm like, you know what? But maybe the fish maybe that's vegan. Like had a little bit of a California mess up, and like because she really pressed the vegan. I'm like, well, maybe I'll have 2 fish tacos, and I get the chorizo, not the pollo, not the asada. And
me and Mike and Hank were all randomly at Taco lunch, different places in the city.
I mean, it's like three dudes eating lunch in LA. Like odds are one of them is eating tacos. You know, all 3 of us is still pretty high.
Actually, Brad. It was actually a carnitas taco. I usually do chorizo for breakfast for sure. That was more of it was a carnitas taco, and so I get it, and I'm open-minded. I'm an open-minded guy, and I open it, and it doesn't even look like anything. It's a sort of weird pink mush.
Thank you so
much. And the carnitas was sort of this gray fiber, and the fish, which I was the most disappointed at all, looked like a little slab of toasted marshmallow butter.
The photo,
it was like a block.
The photos you sent, I couldn't look at all of it.
And yeah, it was all in a little container, mushed together.
Send me that photo. I want to see.
I didn't get to see the photo.
I can share the screen. I'll just I'll tell you guys. And you know what? Vegetarian stuff is great. But
it can also be really bad.
Yeah. Here, I'm going to open it up with preview. You guys tell me what you think of this. What you think of this texture? 1 second. I'm going to share the screen. We don't have to talk about this for too much longer because you're going to feel sick. But here we go. Application window, and there you go. I'm sharing it right now.
We can't. Hold on. I'm going to add it to the thing. 1 second.
I mean, as someone,
there it is.
Look at that. What is that? What is that? Look at that. Look at that texture. Can you see? I'll zoom in.
Oh man!
Oh, that's the fish. That's the fish.
Oh
yeah, that's not a. And I'm you know what? I'm pretty sure that taco cost me $5. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it's a $5 taco. So then 20 minutes later, I went to a real taco place, and I'll show you that. And let's all guess what I got. Let's see. Here, I'm going to open it with previews. I'm going to show another window. This is good. Here we go. So this is the trials and tribulations of being in California right now. But this is where I went to
It's not. You're so, a good option.
This has never happened to me by accident. I've never accidentally stumbled onto a gray fish taco.
Don't lump our state into this. This is not a California issue. This is a Romo issue.
Yeah. And of course, I couldn't just leave. They were so excited to see, a hale, healthy.
When I was a kid, I was probably like 8 or so, and me and my mom and brother were out in the neighborhood, and this new place had opened up a block from our house that we thought was ice cream. And we were like, "Oh, awesome, ice cream right by our house!" And we walk in, and it was yogurt, and we were not into that. And we went to leave, and they were like, "You can't leave. You're our very first customers." And we were like, "Sorry," and we left, and they ended up closing down because no one wants that.
Not a lot of people do. Bathtub pork, vegan carnitas tacos. Is it a sanitary bathtub?
You have to.
It's Hank's bathtub pork.
Yeah, it's in there with me the whole time.
Hank is in the bathtub.
Yeah.
That's the flavor. That's where the flavor comes from.
Yeah.
I don't know where I end and the pork begins.
Turns out Hank has a rare condition where he's just covered in a fine layer of pink salt. So anything he sets the bathtub with is automatically cured.
And that Hank's hair actually is the connective tissue between Hank and the pork. It's just it's
like when you see
it's like a rum pork. I mostly just ooze rum out.
Or it's like when you see the salamis hanging in the little nets, right? He's just got little nets of hair with different meats.
Oh boy!
Ah, wow!
It turned off. Now it's no good.
Wow! No one's commenting.
Cheers! I got my Tiki here. I'm drinking a bottled Aperol Spritz. from St. Augustus out of.
I just had my Negroni. I just showed the crowd the Negroni. These are great bottles, aren't they?
Yeah, they're great. I went to Barkeeper, and they were in St. Augustus was having a tasting event there.
Right.
We got to taste their Amaras and everything. They have everything they do is so great.
Man, I love a good Aperol Spritz.
Yeah.
So here's my Aperol Spritz story. Years ago, we were in Florence. I had not had an Aperol Spritz. I was at a sculpture park. It was like 9,000 degrees. And I went to the bar at the sculpture park, and I saw that like mojitos were the special drink. You know, speaking no Italian, I was like, 4 specials. And I said, but what's that? What's the big one? And I'm just like trying to do the thing because there were people like with like fish bowls of this orange red liquid. I was like, what's the big one? And so she made me one. And that was my first Aperol Spritz. And I was like, oh, I will just forever drink this now in Italy.
Yeah.
When I was living in Panama City, there was a bar in like the old part of town called Mojito Sin Mojito, which means mojitos without mojitos. And they literally did not have mojitos on the menu. So they put mojitos on the sign twice just so you want nothing more than a mojito when you walk in the door. And then you're like, screw it. I guess I'll have a gin and tonic. I don't know. That's so annoying.
They take a lot of energy to make. You know, you got to muddle.
Not if you make.
But it's the tropics. It's hot. You want a mojito.
I do simple syrup with mint in it, and then you don't have to muddle anything.
That's true.
That's right. The one time I went to Negril, Jamaica, they do make an amazing banana daiquiri, but they make them fresh. But it's a fair amount of work, and whenever you would order it, you could see their shoulders just sort of
Yeah.
And it's like it takes a while, but there's banana daiquiri.
Mike, you're cutting your volume or your audio is cutting in and out.
It's not.
Not good. I
mean, we heard.
Hank, are you gonna be able to use that smoker, Hank?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm gonna stick it in the backyard probably tonight or so. I already got picking out like wood chips and everything. So it's a charcoal based vertical smoker. So I'm gonna get some charcoal, get some wood chips, and various other equipment. Get this thing going ASAP. I have 2 weeks off in a week, and I am really excited to just smoke.
When Josh lived in Van Nuys,
I also got jury summons for my week off.
That's the way it goes. That's the balance. That's the balance. That's funny. I might have some barbecue stuff for you. I might have some wood chips and stuff for you, Hank.
I'll take it.
when Josh lived in Van Nuys, me and his boss for Christmas got him like this giant steel smoker, you know, like that you could put like a whole brisket on. And when he used it, it smoked so much that you could see his house like 3 blocks away. You just saw the smoke billowing. And then he left it when he moved to New York. He just left it there.
My dad
He
is
just left it.
a green egg. He does a lot on that.
People like that egg.
They love
I feel like barbecue brisket is overrated, and I would always rather get pork shoulder.
God, that's the most Ryan take ever.
Hop take.
I feel like, well, I mean, I haven't spent as much time in Texas as I know a couple of you have, but like in Nashville, brisket's not the thing. It's it's pork. It's pork shoulder.
Yeah.
What do you miss most about Nashville? Are you gonna? Yeah, I hear good things.
I mean, the hot chicken scene was really blowing up right when we left. You know, white people had just discovered that hot chicken was a thing. But I've been eating it for a little while. I miss getting legit hot chicken because every place does a hot chicken now, but no place really does it right. And I legitimately miss like the fact that any event you go to in Nashville had just amazing live music just happening for free as part of like the background of it. You know, you couldn't go anywhere in that town without there being an awesome musician playing for free for, you know,
like New Orleans, yeah.
Or Austin.
I love New Orleans. God damn it. Who has Connor? You've never been to New Orleans.
Never been to New Orleans.
I love New Orleans. I'm with you, man.
I'm scared of it.
You wouldn't laugh.
It's one of the great.
Hank, it almost killed you, and you're basically immune to alcohol-related injury.
Twice.
You had to flee New Orleans.
The first time I went, I was running late to the airport on my way back, and to go back home. And I was thinking to myself, I can't miss this flight because if I stay here another day, I'm gonna die.
Yeah. Oh yeah. People leave if they live there, or they visit and they live there. They leave on their hands and knees in the dark of night.
I when I lived in Chicago, I got a new friend there, and he had just moved from New Orleans, and I was like, so why'd you move up here from New Orleans? And he's like, because I wanted to live to 40. I wanted to hit 40. And I was like, what the hell is he talking about? And then I went down to New Orleans, like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Jason, hot chicken. Now, the story is, and Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong. Probably the apocryphal story about hot chicken is that there was a guy. He owned a restaurant. He wanted to get a divorce from his wife. So he
was notorious for stepping out on her, and she found out about it.
Yeah.
And his favorite breakfast. So he lived in a neighborhood in Nashville called Hell's Half Acre, and his favorite breakfast was fried chicken. And so his girlfriend wife at the time found out he was cheating on him, and she made the chicken with all the cayenne that she had in the pantry in the dredge as a punishment.
Yeah.
And he tried it, and then she even spooned the hot lard with the cayenne that had fallen off back onto the chicken when she served it to him. And he ate it, and he loved it, and he started a restaurant called Princess Hot Chicken, and that's what it is. So it's bone-in crispy fried chicken with a that's where most places get it wrong. So it's bone-in crispy fried chicken with a spicy lard spooned on top, served on top of 2 pieces of white bread with bread and butter pickles, and that's it. And a cup of water for the white kid to fill his cup at the water fountain while the people in the restaurant laugh at you, which happened.
Wow. Because there's a Dave's Hot Chicken sort of out here in LA. It seems kind of
Howlin' Rays.
There's a lot of hot chicken out here now.
I've heard Howlin' Rays is legit.
Howlin' Rays is incredible, and the whole thing about Howlin' Rays is that it's famous for its line. It's got a really long line. People get in line for like 4 or 5 hours, and it's in a mall in Chinatown. So it's like lined through a mall. And I've never had I'm just not into that line scene. But since COVID, they're doing delivery.
Did you get it?
Oh, we've had it a few times. It's incredible.
You haven't told us this. You haven't told me.
Whoa!
This is another thing I've heard about.
Pay attention, Mike.
What heat levels are available, and what do you get?
I get the minimum heat level. I can't take it.
You're not a spicy boy.
I have no spice tolerance. Laura gets one of. I think it's only like 3 or 4 levels.
Should be 5.
It depends. It varies from place to place.
It's not like Dave's where there's like 8 or 9. It's like maximum 5 or something like that. I get the lowest level of heat. Laura gets the second lowest, and I had a bite of hers and I couldn't do it.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a sandwich. It's not bone-in. Yeah. It's a sandwich with coleslaw and sauce.
Yeah.
So Prince's notoriously wouldn't sell their hottest chicken to just apocryphally wouldn't sell it to white people. Like every time I went and tried to order the extra hot chicken, they would just be like, "No, we're out. Sorry." And like the person behind me could order it. And so I would go with my buddy who's Mexican American, and he would just turn his accent like up to 11 and just order for us both. And they would be like, "Are you sure?" And then he'd say yes. And then they would see that like he was sharing his half chicken that he just got with me, and they would all laugh. And yeah, wow. And they literally the Prince's original location, which they're no longer. Well, I guess it's not the original location I went to, which is not their original location. It had like a drink machine, like for getting bottled drinks out of, and a water fountain, and that was it for any liquids. And like they didn't give you. They brought me out a cup when they saw like what I was going through, so I could at least fill up the cup from the water fountain.
Oh my God.
It was insane.
I just don't get any pleasure out of that.
If it's too hot, you can't taste anything anymore.
It's a multi-day commitment. You got to be in it you're going to be feeling it for at least 3 days. You have to be really careful with your hands not touching any mucus membranes or orifices. You feel it on your like lips.
You're supposed to have something to kill capsaicin, like milk,
rice.
And the only other thing they have there is like French fries, which they serve like piping hot straight from the fryer, so they are no relief whatsoever.
That is funny. I like meals as endurance and/or challenge. There is a Thai restaurant that, unfortunately the brother who did all the sauces has passed away. But the Jitlada place, and that place.
Oh, I heard of that place.
Unbelievable Thai food, but they had a special on they had kind of the most amazing curries I've ever seen in my life. It's
the biggest menu I've ever seen.
It's exhausting. Like you think you've seen a Thai food menu, it's like that's like 1/8 of their menu. But at the back of it,
exactly. I think there's like 110, 115 items. It's extensive.
It's crazy. But they do have these two things that I think you do have to sign a waiver, or you have to eat the whole dish, and it's because it's so hot. Like it's it's a thing. Like there's warnings on it. There's like a lot of asterisks. I think there's some misspellings.
How was it?
I didn't do it. I was with people who looked at the menu and wanted to leave because it was too spicy for them.
There's a Korean place in DC.
When they say something spicy, they are not fucking around.
No, their jungle curry will melt your contact lenses. It's like insanity. And the thing is, it's a different kind of heat. It's sort of existential. You're kind of watching yourself eat because you're dying inside. You're kind of like lifting away from yourself.
Yeah,
it's really, 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 really. Thankfully I was fine.
It's like Doctor Strange, like going interdimensional. You know.
I want to go back. I have so much more to give.
Yeah.
I looked over at my friend, and it's weird when like a good buddy of yours is that vulnerable, and he was so like broken, like just kind of like ashamed in the corner part of the table. And our friend from Chicago had read about the place and had several dishes that she wanted to order, and they were incredible. But he was like, it wasn't fun for him. It kind of sucked.
It's the best Thai food I've ever had. Every single dish I've had there is incredible.
And it's in a little mini mall. Mini mall. Sunset.
Another strip mall gem in LA.
The thing is, and that guy, the brother, because it's the sister that owns it, and her brother did the curries, and he would get to work at 3:30 in the morning and start doing all the curries for the dinner. And it was just this guy is mad scientist of curry. And so anyway, what's William saying? Do you guys consider not being able to eat a certain amount of spicy food as emasculating? Oh no. If you peer pressure to eat spicy food in order to feel part of the group?
Nope. No.
I feel like Ryan was just trying to be that way with us.
I think Ryan is. Yeah.
I really enjoy spicy food. I went to a party back when we were allowed to go to parties where the guy throwing the party was a big fan of the Hot Ones YouTube show. And so he had the entire 10 hot sauce lineup from one of the seasons. They change it up every season. And so I helped him and we cooked a bunch of chicken wings. And then we did the full 10 lineup. It was really fun. And the cool thing about it was anybody could tap out whenever they wanted, right? So you start with like pretty mild, and then you work your way up in the heat levels until you get to the really hottest ones. And by the time you've worked your way up, the really hottest ones don't feel that bad. And one of the hot sauces that was like number 9, I thought, oh, this has a great flavor, and I ordered it, and it's almost unusable. And so there's something about like ramping up slowly through the first 8, where you get doing it like
your body's
that,
getting used to it.
Doing it like that is really fun because everybody got to tap out at the level they were comfortable tapping out. There wasn't any pressure because it just meant more for the rest of us. And yeah, it was super fun doing it that way.
How are the bathrooms? Was it your place?
How were the bathrooms?
Yeah. How did that happen? How was that?
There were 10 memories.
Yeah. Porta potties. We got them brought in. Everybody had their own. They got the spice card and the porta potty key.
So you worked your way up to 10. We went 1 to 10. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go in number 8. 8 and above, don't go in there.
I mean, by the time you get to 8, 9, and 10, you don't even have your pants on. You just like
10 is a bucket and hose.
Yeah. That's funny. It's a funny image.
Yeah,
like
anybody else watching
a fire hydrant with a shoe on it. There's
They call that
Does anybody else watch Ted Lasso?
Hank, they call that a country bidet.
Country bidet. Okay, I dig it.
I'm gonna get my Negroni thing. I'll be right
That was a pretty good joke. I don't know.
Did someone mention Tommy's in LA?
Is that the chili burger place?
Yeah, Tommy's Burger. Yeah.
Chili burgers are chili burgers are huge in LA. And Tommy's is like the king chili burger. I love that place. That's one of the go there at 2 a.m. and eat on the trunk of your car joints. It's just awesome.
Julie and I have gotten into the Oklahoma Smash Burger, the Oklahoma Onion Burger.
Yeah,
So
the fried
it's a
onion burger.
Yeah, it's like a burger that's like 50% onions.
Mm-hmm. I've had that.
Like,
a few times.
they're good.
Here, they're so good. The way that the onion, so you shave the onion paper thin,
Super thin.
and then you smash it with the beef and cook it with the beef. By the time you get it on the bun and the cheese and everything, it's just like it's all one unit. It's not like a burger with onions. It's just like it all melts together because of how thin the onion is. That's a special burger.
And Gordon, we've done it with the Beyond Beef patties, and it works nicely too.
Here's the thing. As someone who doesn't eat meat, I don't want some fake meat that's trying to be meat. Like, I can't do that.
Thank you so much, Gordon.
Yeah, it's gross. It's really gross. I've had it once and it was disgusting.
I can't do it.
I like the Impossible stuff better than the Beyond, but Beyond's fine.
I've had
Beyond,
it both.
the Beyond sausages are real. I use the Beyond sausages a lot, and I like them. They do like a
Good thing about the Beyond sausages. This is, I think, my friend Chris was watching. This is the non-alcoholic stuff that Barkeeper recommended.
How is that, Mike?
We haven't opened it yet.
What
Seed
is
lip.
it? Non-alcoholic what?
It's a non-alcoholic spirit. Garden 108. It seems it's just. I think it's just an herbal. Let's see. It just seems like
You missed the whole discussion earlier, Hank, where Whitney's trying to drink non-alcoholic alcohol because of her dizziness.
Yeah, it's not great. Oh, you did.
Just drink it. It doesn't drink.
I'm going to. I'm working on it.
No, I'm telling her. Just
drink.
Just skip it.
You're gonna drink the non-alcoholic gin right now?
Oh no, this smells like it's a Listerine meets scope.
Oh no! Your first words were "oh no."
No, it's good. It's like my sinuses. It's my sinuses actually.
No, that was a body reaction. That was a
non-alcoholic liqueur.
That was in case of emergency. Your body reacted that way.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this one. See it.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
It's a good one.
Hey Connor, don't you ever think about how in The Expanse they're probably eating that version of Impossible beef?
I do. I think about it all the time. It sounds like a terrible existence.
I like Impossible. I like Impossible.
I like Impossible too.
I had it twice and I got sick both times afterwards.
Well,
I can buy it just like a pound at a time at the store now.
Yeah, that's what we do.
We've made burgers and we did some like kufta kebabs where it's like heavily spiced with other things, and those were great.
That basically sounds like the food in The Expanse.
I know, right? What is it? What is that kibble? That's what they're always eating in The Expanse.
The kibble. It's such really spicy, like protein.
It's a lot of fungus in The Expanse too. It's a lot of yeast, protein, and mushrooms and stuff.
Because Sleepy asks, and beet. It's the beet juice that makes it bloody in the Impossible. That's what I hear, right?
No. That's the Beyond.
That's
in Impossible, it's vegetable derived heme.
Oh, that's right, heme.
Come on, Mike. This is basic science.
I'm going to respond to Jason.
I can't wait to smoke an Impossible brisket.
Last night.
We gotta let them develop the science, Henry, so we can get our Frankenstein briskets for your smoke.
Last night we went to
invented cows.
We went to Burgers, which is a smash burger place here in Indy. That's where I live, Indy. And they do have a house-made veggie burger that was a delicious smash burger. So
there's a place in San Francisco that is growing meat in like vats, and the guy imagines like almost like a brewery where you would have these vats of like we actually had it. We went and saw Bill Nye the Science Guy. We knew a person on whatever. But we went and talked after, and I tried the duck that had been grown in this lab in San Francisco. And I'm not a duck connoisseur, but it certainly tasted ducky. But apparently just that duck itself was like $1,000 just in terms of all of like.
For now, it'll come down.
No. But his whole thing was like, eventually with science, you could just grow whatever kind of meat you could imagine with the right chemicals, and everybody just kind of avoided the whole.
I have a hypothetical question.
Jorge, there's a Caribbean place up in Northwest Indiana, up in LaPorte that's really good. Sorry, I'm reading the thing.
I was gonna say, like, people are on the fence about eating human meat, right?
I've been watching Hannibal. Yeah. This is a very relevant question for me.
What if it was grown in a lab? Would you eat it?
This is what they were talking about.
Not a person at that point.
I don't think I would.
I think I
Well,
would.
there's those human burgers, right? The human beef in that art installation that some guy grew from human cells.
I don't think I'm interested in finding out what any primate tastes like. I think I draw the line at primates.
I would eat a
But
person.
that's an arbitrary line, isn't it?
Brian, it was sort
Yeah.
of a lab. It was a company in San Francisco. They're not really doing it yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure how far Griffith is. Let me see where.
I understand that it's an arbitrary distinction. I just decided that's where my arbitrary. I don't want anything lemur or above.
I won't eat anything Ryan's done a lecture on.
So that would be sloths, crocodiles, wolves.
I have had crocodile.
Yeah.
I've had crocodile.
Alligator. I had alligator in New Orleans. Shocking.
I haven't given a lecture on alligators. Only, well, I guess alligators were included in that study. So yeah,
There you go. There you go.
Ryan
So
is.
you gotta head over to
Oh my
port in Richmond City and go to this.
Red pandas, cute
gotta-
and delicious.
Is there a mirror in front of you? Because you're the only person that
Yeah,
would
it's
eat
an
with you.
RPs.
It's a mirror, I think, to make you really contemplate what you're about to do.
You're gonna eat somebody.
I don't need a mirror.
I've already looked at the dark parts of my soul.
They're driving me. That's why I'm here.
That's funny.
I don't know how I feel about lab grown meat. I understand the environmental implications of it, but like at a certain point where human beings were built for meat eating.
Well, that's the thing is,
Yeah.
but it's like indistinguishable. It is just genetically the same thing. Just
I don't think it's indistinguishable. That's my point.
well, yeah, I mean, we would have to test it out. Dinosaurs. That's like we can do the brontosaurus from Fred Flintstone.
Yeah,
I think
It's like everybody telling us that the Impossible Burger is indistinguishable. You can tell.
Oh, you can tell it smells different.
Yeah, it's all
But
different.
you can put tomato sauce. I do Impossible pasta all the time. It's fine. I feel like if I do a mix of it, then I feel less like beef guilt.
Do you eat beef pasta?
You mix ground beef sometimes in the pasta. You ever make that? Ground beef?
I don't
never.
know what you're talking about. You said Impossible
I feel like
Pasta.
Homer-
I didn't know what.
beef guilt.
Hey, it's called Cool Runnings. I'm telling Jorge, it's called Cool Runnings. Go check it out.
No, Mike, I know what you mean. Like you'll do like a pound of ground beef and a pound of Impossible instead of 2 pounds of ground beef, and then you're like,
I mean, I don't know.
Pounds of
I
ground
just
beef.
forgot about everything.
You eat it.
I wonder what smoked Impossible would be. I mean,
well, because it's just around right now.
would they prefer the Impossible Burger?
And
or-
like we eat dinosaurs all the time. Most people had a dinosaur on their table for Thanksgiving.
True.
deep cut.
Fucking deep.
Doctor of
man.
Paleontology.
Thank you, doctor.
Do you have like a badge, like an ID card?
Just
I'm
an
a
email
doctor.
signature, just an email signature line update.
You get discounts at restaurants?
I wish. I think I don't get the student discount anymore. I was a very gray-haired student for a long time. I think I
Are
lost
you
my
making everybody call you doctor?
No, just
Not yet.
Just at home.
it's a little snobby. I told a buddy of mine who asked if we could hang out that he would have to make a doctor's appointment. That
Oh, that's funny.
I really hope if I'm ever like at a bar with Ryan again, someone has a heart attack and like, is anyone here a doctor? I'll be like, this fucking guy right here.
then I saved their life.
Kiss my egg.
No, see, Hank, I want that to happen, but I want somebody to like break a bone. So then they can be like, is anyone here a doctor? And I can be like, yes. And you know, like, is anyone here a bone doctor? I'd be like, still technically yes.
I mean, we can make that happen. We can definitely break some bones.
All right.
Boy, this.
Mike, you want to go for a ride with Hank and I?
Yeah. This is good. These polls are fun.
Yeah, they're good. I don't know how to vote on them, but check
Side gig. You have to text. Use a text.
That's right up there.
I don't have that
Dan.
technology.
Tom, there was a virtual commencement, I think today, that I did not bother going to. I don't know. My advisor will hood me the next time we're allowed to hang out.
Is that because you're a doctor and you're too busy now?
Yeah, too busy.
Diane
No,
needs to
just-
call her
They
doctor.
weren't even like reading people's names. Like I didn't see what the point was.
Is your handwriting worse now?
Well, my
That's
buddy
a joke.
as a graduation present got me this fountain pen that I don't know how to use. So yes.
That's funny.
I'm really, really sorry I missed the conversation on milk.
It was about
You missed the whole milk
I
conversation.
really hope this is being recorded.
It was about different kinds of milk, nut milks and bird milks and roach milks.
Wow, I'm so bummed I missed it.
Well, don't I sent that picture to the mutual thread with the flamingos, Hank. That's what that was.
That's what that was.
That was flamingo milk. That was flamingo milk. Yeah,
I didn't know what that was either.
that's flamingos feeding their chick milk.
Somehow almond milk came up, and then it became a whole oatmeal milk, soy milk conversation.
Yeah.
Jesus, Connor, who's steering the ship?
I was trying to fix something else while it happened, and then all of a sudden it was just going. Ryan, do you not know how to use the ballpoint pen? I mean, fountain pen?
Apparently, well, I'm left-handed. There's lots of things I can't do with
Yeah,
pens.
left-handed people have problems with these things.
All writing utensils are messed up for me. Spiral bound notebooks are terrible. I much prefer a legal pad.
Just flip them. I just flip the spiral one.
Nah, I just get a legal pad with the top bound.
How many people in the chat are left-handed?
All right, well, 1 second. Give me a moment.
What
Right,
can you describe?
Milk if you're right-handed, cannibalism if you're left-handed.
Yeah.
What's going on in Silver Lake, Hank?
Fucking nothing.
Sun's
going down at 3:45.
Yeah, no, it's getting dark here. My friends up in Seattle, they when you talk to them, they just sort of you can almost see through their skin. It's getting so.
Brian's right. It is weird that like coconut water became a thing when they're the one fruit that has always produced milk.
Well,
I think we just call it milk because it's white, right? Like, otherwise, if it were from another fruit or nut, it would just be like juice.
Yeah.
I only have coconut when there's rum in it.
Soursop, Guanabana produces white juice.
Everything. Those syllables sounded like nonsense to me. What did you just say? You said what? I
have had that in Costa Rica.
What is the word that you said?
Guanabana. It's soursop in English. Guanabana. It's got this white flesh and produces a white juice, but it's still called jugo. It's juice, and you can get it with milk. So they'll do like jugo con leche in places like Costa Rica, which is it's actually very good.
Wow, God, I know nothing. Right-handed, 100%. Ambidextrous.
I mean, I feel like all left-handed people have to be ambidextrous to survive.
Yeah, I bat right-handed.
I've never
same.
believed anyone when they've said they're ambidextrous.
You've never believed anyone?
I've never believed them.
Brad Garver in the chat room says ambidextrous.
Yeah.
Nah.
God, my computer is just choking.
I feel like it's
mine
just
too.
like a
So
thing, you know?
That's a strange-looking fruit, indeed, Ryan.
Which milk is better for your tiki drinks? There's no milk in tiki drinks.
I mean, coconut milk and guanabana would both be very good in tiki drinks.
Is that an opportunity? Is that we can slide in there with a new drink?
Look at that!
Go on Shark Tank.
Tasty milk, Mike.
Gross. That looks like a.
You use coconut milk to make coconut milk
cream.
Coconut cream to make a pina colada. Coconut milk to make a curry.
Sure, it's still not milk though.
Hank is frozen.
That's disgusting.
I got a
What is milk
Clark.
if not a colloidal solution of fat and protein in water?
Gross.
You know, I don't know why they ever accuse scientists of taking the joy and romance out of life.
Horchata is rice milk with cinnamon and cardamom and other flavonoids.
Richard Jojo, this is great. We got a lot of.
Wait, Ryan and Mike are left-handed.
I am, yes.
Henry?
I had it
right-handed.
Gordon? Right-handed.
I use my right hand.
Yeah. All right.
I use my
Only
other
two
hand.
of you are touched by Satan.
That's right. I think statistically that's right.
We're sinister, Mike.
Yeah.
No wonder you and I get along so well.
You should have been killed at birth, right? Isn't that the?
No, how would they know?
How would they know? Yeah.
Did they hand a baby a pen and say, right? And he goes,
Baby's like,
sign your own birth certificate. Oh,
It was probably just an
the river he
excuse,
goes.
like, hey, I think this kid's left-handed.
I mean, not a couple hundred years ago, it would have been beaten out of me and Mike. So
Yeah. Well, I would have been eliminated early because I can't see. I would just be like a watchmaker. Shoe
the
person.
watchmaker's son.
This is all related to this week's X-Men comic. Oh, no, Avengers comic.
Oh yeah, I read that.
How's the movie making,
Seven?
Gordon?
Hold on, 7% ambidextrous. That's a lot.
Movie making's great.
You know what I'm talking about? It's just people like saying they're ambidextrous. Some
Yeah,
guy
we're just
fucking, unlocked
funding
his
right
car,
now for the
unlocked his car with his left hand. He's like,
Hank's-
oh man.
Hank's platform is very firmly anti-ambidextrous.
I can brush my teeth with either hand. I can drive with either hand. I can ride my bike with either hand. I can't really eat with either hand unless I'm eating with my hands.
It's a two-handed activity.
Hank is just like raving
Hank
in the
is
corner.
firmly like when he runs for office, it's going to be on a firmly anti-ambidextrous platform.
Make a decision. Make a decision.
One ambidextrous person in history, and that was Mickey Mantle, and he is dead.
Leonardo da Vinci was definitely ambidextrous.
You know that for sure. You're
yeah. No, he could. There are reports of him. Like,
did you arm wrestle him with both arms or something? Or
there's other lines of evidence besides me arm wrestling people.
Is there video of him writing with both hands?
He invented a machine to record the video, and then it was lost in a fire. It was real sad.
You know how like when you watch the political debates, Bernie Sanders could turn everything into income inequality. That's how Hank is when he debates. Everything comes back around to ambidextrous people. Yeah. They'll ask him a question about foreign policy. They'll be like, "Well, the thing about the Iraqis is," and Hank Persian will have a strong opinion on that.
Back when we were allowed to eat,
they claim to be ambidextrous.
Right.
Do you find that restaurants would often plate things in reverse, so you had to like spin your plate 180 degrees to make it make sense?
What? What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, that never happened to me, but I appreciate that. I would have been really.
You know what I mean, though, right?
Yeah. Well, but the thing is, I always think about what it'd be like to drive in like New Zealand or in a right-handed drive place with a manual transmission.
Oh, I never done.
And apparently the gears are opposite as well. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, but you're going to the left. And I always thought that would be very, very interesting.
So when I was renting a hire car, which is what they call rental cars in UK places, when I was renting a hire car in Australia, I asked the woman like checking me out at the counter at the airport. I was like, "So any tips for driving on the?"
Whoa!
What's confusing?
Julie there?
Yeah. She's checking you out.
Different time.
I was handing her my credit card, and I don't know what else she was doing with her eyes, but I asked her for any advice to drive on the other side of the road. Told her it was my first time driving the other side of the road, and she was like, just follow the car in front of you. That was the entirety of her advice. We totaled that car. That car.
You did? Really?
Oh yeah.
Not
because of that. I drove it through a creek, and everything short circuited and died. We had to get it towed.
What did you say? Don't drive through creek.
Did you not see the creek?
Everywhere.
Like,
I think that was on the rental agreement. But
the thing about right-handed municipalities is that the entrances to garages are also on the different side, and no one had warned me about that, and I almost drove into the teeth. But the guy I was with warned me at the last second.
Was that in New Zealand?
Yeah, it was in New Zealand. And like every time you turn, like what we would deem a left-hand turn, your entire body clenches up because it looks like you're going to go. This is what suicide is like.
You're making a hard left. Yeah.
And then
when I was in Ireland, I had to chant to myself every time in my head, hard left, wide right, hard left, wide right. Every time I made a turn.
Scotland,
because your brain your brain freaks out. Like, oh shit, I'm going to die. But hard left, wide right.
Pretty left, and I'm not crossing traffic. Like it was, but when I turn right, I have to make sure I'm looking. It was all,
I was mentally exhausted every day at the end of the day in Ireland after driving wherever we were going. I was
that sounds no mood to do anything.
I didn't expect that. I didn't expect to be mentally exhausted, but I would just sit there with a pint at the pub, just like.
The best thing was we were in this like beach town in Australia called Cairns, and we were in a Uber Lyft coming home from whatever because we didn't have a rental car with us at that point, and I looked over at the car next to us, and the guy sitting on the right-hand side of the car was just straight up chugging from a fifth of vodka. Just like sitting at a stoplight and just fully head back chugging. And I was like, wow, that was like some flagrant disregard for open container laws. At least he's not driving. And then I looked at the driver's side in our car. I was like, oh, he is driving. That's the driver's side in this country.
Wow.
Wow.
When I was driving in Scotland, we drove up to Loch Ness, and I rented, because it was just the two of us, I rented a Mercedes convertible because I was like,
Right.
this will be fun. What I realized is it's like the widest car on the road. So we're on these super tiny country roads, and like a truck, a lorry is coming at you, and it's not veering
Or stopping or slowing down.
or anything. It's like speeding up. It's like, all right, I'll do this. So then I'm like driving in the bushes with this Mercedes, like.
No. The most terrifying, the most dangerous time, the most scared I've ever been driving was in New Zealand. They have tractor trailers, but there's like the back tires are 3 sets of tires, implying extremely heavy baggages or something, whatever. And I remember driving up this sort of Misty Mountains cliff, and I was stuck between 2 of these guys, and on a curve, on the other side of the street. And I'm like, the only way that this could get more terrifying is if I get boxed in by another truck. And now everybody's staring at me.
Sorry.
Hi, Whitney.
That's
Special box. Hello.
she's taking her gingerbread things, but and that's she's wearing a bag of ice on her butt. It's gonna be a long night.
On 99 on the podcast 99% Invisible.
Ruin my story.
They did an episode. They did an episode called H Day, and it's about the day in Sweden in the late '60s when Sweden switched from being right-hand drive to left-hand.
I learned about that in traffic school.
But like it happened at midnight on like one day, and they had to just get the word out to the whole country to be like, everybody on this day, just switch.
Yeah,
That
stop.
feels like the wrong way to go about it.
How else? I mean, how do you do it? How do you do it
Word of mouth.
gradually?
Word of mouth.
Actually, do it.
Sure, it's gotta be all. It's gotta be all.
Bug.
How many accidents were there that day? Because
I mean, it's Sweden. I think they got it pretty well organized.
Yeah,
They were all
other than, the only real mistakes they've made was the COVID stuff, right?
Yeah, lately.
Sweden's usually pretty good. At least in UK, there are a lot of turnoffs. In Italy, when I was driving in Italy, what I noticed is that the exit is, you'll see the turnoff and the sign will say the exit. It's the exit that you should be. It's not the exit that's coming. It's the exit that's directly in front of you. But the sign is after it. So I missed every turnoff because it looks like the exit is the next exit, not the one that you are also seeing with your eyes at the same time you're looking at the sign. So that was interesting. Driving in other countries is crazy.
People in LA love talking about traffic so much.
how much do they?
During COVID, they'll talk about traffic from past times in other countries.
Yeah. During this COVID, when nobody's driving, yeah. they have to go.
So wait, when any of you were driving
about traffic.
when any of you were in places where you were driving on the other side, did you have trouble coming back to the US? Because there were a few days back in DC where I had a hard time.
No.
I immediately was driving the day after we got back, and I thought I was going to get in an accident.
Yeah, I was like jet lagged and trying to drive back because we flew out of Chicago, so I had to drive 3 hours home, and I was like, "This is
your brain really does switch."
No,
well, we rented a car. We drove from Barcelona to Naples, Italy, and that. First of all, in Barcelona, they were like, "You're taking this to Naples? Like, you need the insurance." I was like, "Okay." If you have not driven to Naples, Italy, let me just tell you, I'm on a one-way street going the one way, and there are just cars upon cars coming at me, and I'm like, what do I do? I'm going the one-way way. Like, that's what I'm supposed to do. It was a scary situation.
Yeah, that must have been. Well, you're right, Hank. That's funny. Yeah, we're so desperate for traffic that we're talking about old stories of traffic. We're not commuting anymore. Every time I turn my car on, I'm shocked it works.
Everyone in Australia drives exactly the speed limit, and it's insane. I couldn't get over it. It was so weird. They have the most decked out, like Mad Max vehicles. Like every single one of them is ready for Beyond Thunderdome with their vehicles, and yet they all just drive perfectly the speed limit and follow every traffic law. And a nation of criminals, no less.
But Ryan, when you were in Costa Rica, did you appreciate the crazy semis and trucks on that main road with all the lights and the horns?
Yeah, and they have those in Panama too. They're called El Diablos. El Diablos Rojos. Their buses. It was they come from a time before the cities had like actual government provided public transportation. So they have like specific routes that they're driving that if you're a local, and you hop on, hop off, and pay the fare. And so you recognize them by their crazy colors, and by each one has its own crazy design.
I've seen. Yeah. I was talking about the main trucks, but those are those cool taxis. Don't they have those in Africa as well?
I wouldn't know.
In Queens, they have them in Queens. All right, let's get back to alcohol.
No. Bring it back, Connor. Bring it back.
Where's everybody in there drinking? I'm on my third King Kamehameha.
I've got to get. I'm gonna. I'm gonna get my own.
Is that one of the double portions? That isn't.
It's
show
like
show us the goddamn
half
bottle.
The bottle is. This is like half the bottle.
Okay.
So it's close.
So put more ice in it.
I did. Gordon, what are you on?
Ding. Yeah, you need that little ding. You need that little fucking bell. Remember the bell? Do you guys still do that?
Gin and tonic.
Gin and tonic.
Gin and tonic.
It was
gin and tonic.
It was quick and easy.
Hey, if it was an anti-malarial, it might be an anti-COVID drink too. We don't know.
Ryan, are you still drinking your weird drink?
I am. It's good. I made up a good drink, y'all. Don't hate.
What do you want?
Henry?
So, whatever you're making.
Nice.
Jeez.
I've never done that to Whitney. I've never said I want what you're drinking.
Oh, great. I'll take it.
Ever.
And
what are you making?
And whiskey.
Henry, what are you drinking? What is she drinking?
I don't know. We'll see what comes back.
Is Richard stopping by?
I do have a special drink. I do have a special drink for later.
Oh,
later.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's 49 minutes left, so.
I'm supposed to drink 2 drinks in that time.
Ron, so Jorge, Ron, and Josh will be here in 49 minutes, and then that's when you lose us.
Sometimes Ron comes early.
My contract stipulates I cannot be in the same podcast as them.
Right. Well, they won't.
I haven't watched Bank yet. Should I watch Bank?
It's going to have no Ryan too. I think it seems like
it's just
Josh won't be on the show if Henry's there.
Why won't Josh?
It's in the contract. Has anyone else seen Mank but me?
No,
I've not seen it.
Should I was going to try to convince Whitney to see it tonight. She wants to watch the last episode of Outlander tonight, which means then I can cancel Stars. So I'm kind of for that.
Stars is like an infection. You can't get rid of it. No one knows how it got there. It won't leave. It has no value.
It's true. They called me up. They're like, "Do you want all the Stars channels for free?" I was like, "I guess." Like when are you gonna start charging me? We won't ever.
Like, does Stars have 8 channels? I have 48 channels of Stars. Like,
yeah, they have like there's like 15 Stars.
I just have it on my Apple TV, but like it's like all the shows are not.
You're the one. You're the one that chose to have Stars.
It's not my fault. Whitney really likes Outlander.
Yeah.
Connor, Julie and I watched Ted Lasso.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, because there was a great episode in Ted Lasso about super hot spicy food.
That's true. That was a good episode. That's kind of what hot chicken feels like.
I just started a new show that I'm really into.
You like it?
Mr. In Between. Has anyone seen that? It's an Australian show.
Of course.
On Hulu.
What is it?
Mr. In Between.
No.
It's a show about a guy who he works security at a strip club, and he I think he's like fresh out of jail, and he's trying to get his life back on his feet. But I'm trying to say, and he's involved in some extracurricular activities, kind of enforcing some underground stuff. But it's an amazing tone. I've only seen 3 episodes, and they're only 20 minutes each. It's written and created and starring one guy. And it's just got a really cool tone, and really interesting vibe. I'm excited to see where the show goes.
How did you get turned on to it?
A friend recommended it. And the first here's my big selling point.
They're all right here, Hank. None of us told you.
Yeah, all your friends are right here. We didn't recommend
Football is life. Yeah. Who else do you know?
Ron.
You don't know anybody else.
It was Ron. It was the last conversation we had before.
Oh.
This is how I was sold on the show, and this is how I'll sell you on the show.
What's in your hand?
This is a bone. It just kind of showed up.
Whoa.
Season 1 is only 6 episodes, and they're 22 minutes each.
Perfect.
That's how you'll sell it. That's how you'll sell it.
That's the way to do it.
Has
2 hours.
anyone heard of it? On Hulu?
Huh?
The In-Betweeners?
Mr.
Anybody in the chat room?
Mr. Between.
Has anyone heard of the show?
I will
Yeah.
watch it. I'll check it out.
If
You
you've
know
heard Mr. In-Between in the chat room, let us know. Gordon, you have to watch Ted Lasso.
I know.
Yeah.
I've
so good.
heard. I need to watch it.
It's fantastic. It has no business being as good as it was, and you can do a free trial for a week, or you
Oh
can
yeah,
just.
I have Apple TV, and I didn't know about it, and I went on there, and there's actually some interesting stuff, like library stuff. But the Beastie Boys documentary is
Right. I hear that that's really good too. So-
really, really good.
Yeah, it's great.
Hold on a
I
second.
saw them. I saw them Madison Square Garden. I'm gonna do
Cheers.
that.
Cheers to whatever this
I'll be
drink
right
is.
back. I don't have one. I'll be right back.
What the fuck was
I've
that?
got Christmas glass.
Like that?
Whoa, what the fuck is this?
What is it?
I don't know.
Is that a Tiki tea glass?
It is.
What
I'll be there next week.
what color is it?
This is red, so feel free to get me any color other than red.
All right. I definitely will not do that.
I'll send you the link.
Hank, when are you coming to Inferno Room?
This is a rum old fashioned.
Hank, come visit. Let's go to Inferno Room.
I desperately want to go to the Inferno Room, and we'll definitely hit you up for sure. We're going.
Let's do it.
Inferno Room is like all over the place. So what I love about Tiki is that if someone does it right, they can do it anywhere and it will take off.
Yeah.
Like Halle Pele in Portland or Inferno Room in Indianapolis. Like if you just do it right and do it well, like people who love Tiki will seek it out, and people who are unfamiliar with it will get won over.
We did.
And also, it was never Hawaiian to begin with. So anywhere you do it is as inauthentic as the original.
Connor and I did Halle Pele in Oregon.
Yeah, it was created in LA, but whatever.
It
Can't be
was
a doctor of everything. Can't be a doctor of everything.
LA's not Hawaii, last I checked.
Who said Hawaii?
It's not Hawaiian. It's Tiki.
Not Hawaiian.
It's Tiki.
All right.
Hal Pele was really good. Hal
It
Pele
was.
was really good.
The night was a disaster, but the bar.
It was great for me.
Yeah, well,
Connor, how much
It
was
was
your
disaster
tab?
for Gordon. Huh?
How much was your tab?
I don't know, man. I was flying.
I remember that was the first thing you told me when you got back. You're like, whoa.
well, because you guys had like 14 drinks each.
And there was like
We were there for a while.
We were there for a while.
Garbage.
For a little while.
Can you do that from Beat?
Yeah.
Ryan, is there any Tiki in DC?
Yeah, we got a great tiki place called Archipelago down on the U Street corridor. They do a fantastic job. Really good.
One of the cornerstone Trader Vic's was in DC, and one of their best customers was Tricky Dick himself.
Hmm.
Yeah, Richard Nixon was really into Tiki and really into Trader Vic's, and he used to call in when he was the sitting president. He would call into Trader Vic's and say, "I'm coming," and they would shut down, and he would show up and sit there by himself. And he would have the same bartender every time. It would just be him and the bartender.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
We did our Christmas party last year. We shut down Inferno Room and had our private Christmas party there, which, man, I would do it again this year, but it's just like you can't have a party.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anything.
What kind of so Ryan? What's the bar like in DC? The Tiki bar. What's the vibe?
A pretty classic tiki style interior on the inside. They have like a TV where they show old, 50s movies and stuff up on like kind of the wall area. It's actually I would say the interior is kind of minimalist for a tiki bar. Like it doesn't have as much going on as a lot of the tiki bars that I've been to out west. But the drinks are super solid. The bartenders know their stuff backwards and forwards. You can order off menu if you've got a tiki drink that that you like and prefer.
Oh, that's nice.
Good food, kind of sort of like Hong Kong Chinese street food stuff.
There's a rich tradition of the Chinese tiki situation.
Yep.
So this is a Negroni. I'm doing a Negroni with this lo-fi sweet vermouth from Napa, which is kind of exciting.
You picked that up
And then
today, right?
Yeah, I just picked it up today, and then I'm using the Bar Hill Tomcat gin. But You know, it's so funny. Like I'm not really tried any vermouth that's not been the 3 different brands, and so it's kind of fun to try like someone else's take on it. But this has white wine, great spirits, rhubarb.
What are the 3 brands, Mike?
Martini and
come on.
Rossi, Nolan.
Ari. Oh, jeez.
No,
I thought
the 3 brands of.
Oh,
vermouth.
the way I usually think of them is that Martini and Rossi, Dolan, and that really fancy one with all the fleur de lis.
Oh,
The expensive one.
yeah, the expensive. No,
Carpo Antica. The Carpo and
Antica.
yeah, that one. That stuff is delicious, but it's I'm a Dolan guy.
Dolan's my sweet spot.
Yeah.
But this is delicious. This
You know what? Laura just picked up a bottle of Lillet because they use that at her bar.
So tell me what you think.
Everything she's made with it has been excellent.
I love Lillet.
Yeah.
Wait, Lillet Blanc or Lillet Rouge? I think those are the
Blanc. I'm sure it's a Blanc.
because there's multiple kinds.
I don't see the Rouge out here.
She explained something to me. They're all sweet vermouths. Is that correct? All 3 of them are technically sweet vermouths. The Rouge.
Sorry, my stomach is rumbling.
Yeah.
Because you need the Blanc to make the original Vesper Martini.
Yeah. I still
Okay,
have
so this question came up in the chat room, and it's actually something we discussed at the All Media show that comes out next week. What was the last movie you saw in the theaters? So, like, if the industry totally collapsed, there's never another movie. This has been the last movie you ever saw in a movie theater. What was the last movie you saw in a movie theater?
No fucking idea.
It was a goddamn Star Wars one. It was the last.
Oh, really? Last Skywalker was Rise of Skywalker.
It
Rise
was,
of Skywalker.
yeah.
When did that come out?
The Last
That was
Jedi.
December.
The Last
No,
Skywalker.
the last Jedi was 4 years ago.
Wait.
Julie did not come with me to see Rise of Skywalker, so the last one we saw together was probably Spider-Verse.
Because
Which we
No,
were
what's the last one
alone.
you saw in the theater? It's going to go on your tombstone.
I don't want Rise of Skywalker to go. I would rather have Spider-Verse on my tombstone, please.
You don't get to choose.
And funnily
It's the
enough,
last- Listen,
No
no one's movie.
Chronologically, what was
No one's movie was worse than Ron's, and I'm not going to spoil it because it's a great moment in the show. But it is the most embarrassing final movie to see in a theater. So if you have the Rise of Skywalker, you are in no worries.
the funny thing is, we saw Spider-Verse in a completely empty theater with the only 2 people in there, so it would have been perfect as a Corona screening.
So my friend Joe in Massachusetts, his kid is having his birthday tomorrow.
Uncut Gems. That was the last one.
What was it?
Uncut Gems. I wrote it down.
You know what?
Oh.
We had a screening of one of my films right before.
No, that doesn't count.
Oh, that's cool.
Screenings don't count.
Okay. It was
What
in
did you
the
go buy a
theater.
ticket for in the theater?
I bought
No.
a ticket for Rise of Skywalker.
Mine was 1917.
Oh, but he's renting a theater for his kid.
Yeah,
a whole theater for $150, and they're going to see Tenet tomorrow.
Yeah, my friend just did that for a birthday party.
$150. That's
Yeah.
not a problem at all.
Have you seen the drive-in in the middle of Hollywood on Highland? It's $65.
Oh yeah.
Per car?
Fuck you! What the hell?
I was
No
like,
way.
so Wonder Woman is on HBO Max,
Yeah,
but I can pay $65 to sit in my car.
my car. And
Listen to it on my
for
car
a screen
speaker.
that's literally this big. I
Yeah.
went to a drive-through.
And
I
shitty
I
sound.
saw a fucking drive-through movie. It was a terrible experience.
So
These
Hank,
drive-ins that are popping up, which I'm all for,
They're not stereo.
not as big as the ones that I grew up with. The drive-ins I grew up with were fucking 4 stories big.
I have a question.
These are like shit you're grabbing off Amazon, like 15 feet.
I have a question, Connor. Does
Played
the count? Because I did go to see Grease and Pulp Fiction at a real drive-in.
No, I'm talking about before movies stopped.
Okay, yeah, then it was.
Yeah, before sitting with strangers, stop.
Yeah, before COVID.
Rise of Skywalker was hot garbage. Birds
I
of Prey.
would go to a drive-in if I could pick any car to sit in. I can sit
Is
in
Josh here?
not just mine.
Flanagan. Hi, Connor.
so Hank, I happened. So they filmed part of the new Wonder Woman at Smithsonian here in DC. Well, they filmed all of it. A lot of it.
Did you see Gal Gadot?
I did not see Gal Gadot. People saw Chris Pine.
Oh, he's great.
I went to the museum the day they were filming, but I didn't know they were filming. So I'm like walking over to the museum from Metro. I'm like, there's a lot of 80s cars around today. This is weird. And I was so oblivious. And I go to the museum and everybody's like peeled to their windows trying to get a glimpse
Nice
of Chris
Harley.
Pine and Gal Gadot.
I'm not excited about seeing it on TV.
No.
I'm not
I'm really
excited
not.
about any movie on TV.
Yeah, I'm not. I love the
Well,
theater
it'll
experience.
be
I
in
don't
your
really
new.
like.
It'll be in your new place.
It doesn't matter. It's not the same seeing it in,
I
in
get
a
it. I mean,
Dolby
I get it.
Atmos theater.
I get it.
And everyone who's at risk, all the theaters that are actually at risk are the ones that are special experiences. Like I could never go to it. I could not go to an ArcLight again for the rest of my life and not really give a shit. But the New Beverly is like a
that's like the most LA thing you could ever say. Most people have never been to the ArcLight. The ArcLight would be the premium movie experience they've ever been. Hank's like, I can never go to ArcLight ever again. I'll give a fuck.
The ArcLight's like AMC, but just like a little bit of effort.
No, they're not like AMC.
Nah, it's not even the same league.
AMC
is not even an AMC theater. Yeah.
Have you been to an AMC?
Having been,
well, I guess the ArcLight in Hollywood has the Cinerama Dome, which I think is the best movie theater in the world.
Well, a lot of people. There's a lot of controversy about that because a lot of people don't like the curve.
Oh man, I love it.
I saw Lost in fucking Hollywood.
Once upon a time in Hollywood.
I've seen. The first movie I saw there was the 2001 70 millimeter remaster, and Mike's just taken off, still talking. Mike and
I think I'm getting that was I will forever regret not seeing that. But we got,
and then I saw Mission Impossible with you, Mike, which was awesome. Yeah. And then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood opening weekend there, I saw, and they had the cars from the movie.
Yeah.
And when they show the Cinerama Dome in the theater, everyone burst into applause. It was a special moment.
Unbelievable. Cool. And you see, Casavega was when they.
That's what I love. I love about that movie is that like, and that specific movie going experience is that there's that montage of lights turning on as the sun goes down, and people were like hooting and hollering for like Chili John's came on, and like and they're like, hey,
that was like.
So the only time I had a similar experience of that is I saw Milk at the Castro Theater in San
Francisco. Wow!
Sure. And they use the Castro Theater as their establishing shot for the neighborhood because it's the word of the neighborhood in giant lights.
That's a great.
Good Brad.
It was really cool. It was really cool.
It's good. That's a good feeling. Connor, Hank, and I went through a deep Once Upon a Time in Hollywood phase that lasted months.
It's not over.
It's a Musso and Frank Once Upon a Time in Hollywood like ping pong.
Dude, Mike, the next time I'm in LA, I want to go to Musso and Frank's. I've never been.
Man, that's a bummer. Hey, by the way, if anyone wants to support Musso and Frank, they have a GoFundMe open right now. Connor, can you toss that in the chat, please?
Wow, yeah. I like this is great. So let's see, Tenet.
101 years.
Yeah. Huh?
101 years.
We got to see Gordon's movie.
Here's us and everyone. Whitney was not feeling well. Here's everyone at the Musso and Frank last time. That was probably a picture around a year ago.
It was probably in that restaurant.
It was like around New Year's.
It was like 2 days after New Year's. It was the weekend after New Year's. Here we go. There you go.
Yeah, they're doing good. Oh boy,
Steven Soderbergh dropped $3,500 today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, is this your phone, Hank? 763?
No.
Who is this? That's Gordon?
Laura. Don't be reading off Laura's phone number.
Yeah, don't read her number on the internet.
I didn't read it. That's the area code. I don't know what.
You know what? If anyone in here, if anyone,
Minnesota
represent. If anyone here can crack it just based on the first three numbers, I'm impressed.
Gordon, so where's your movie at right now?
It's the one that we filmed. It's in editing right now.
How's it going?
It's going very well.
What's final cut? Producers or director?
Director will have final cut.
Oh wow, you gave the director final cut. All right.
Well,
look at you.
Production designers and final cut.
There are for that.
The third AD doesn't have final cut.
But I was told it'll be done by March. So,
aren't you the boss?
I'm not the one.
You tell them when it's done.
I'm not the boss. Here's the thing. Normally, our budgets dictate that, like, hey, we have this great editor, but they have to do it in their spare time, and we kind of get it whenever we get it. But this one, it was like, hey, we have this great editor, and he said it'll be done by March. So that's all.
Here's my favorite. This is as long as they're sharing pictures. This is my favorite picture. One of my favorites. Who knows who that actor is?
Tony Shalhoub.
Tony Shalhoub.
Yeah. He's at South.
South. And my most embarrassing thing was like I heard he was coming over to my friend's house. The thing is, my friends and I are the biggest Barton Fink fans imaginable. We quote it all the time, and I laid all the Barton Fink quotes on him, and he's like,
I'm sure he
"You
loved
really
it.
like that movie, huh?" I'm like, yeah.
It's
It
a
was
wallet.
right.
What do you need? A road map?
He's not South. People have taken an interest. He's so good. And it was right after Monk canceled, and I said, "So what's happening? What's next?" He's like, "Very complicated and very personal question. Not sure." And he just became Tony Shalhoub in front of my eyes. And the thing is, I had seen Tony Shalhoub and John Turturro and Christopher Lloyd do Waiting for Godot in New York. I was on the ground. What?
Who played who?
Well, they're interchanged. The two dudes were Tony and Turturro, and then the guy who comes in midway through is Christopher Lloyd, right? So unbelievable fucking cast, right? Unbelievable. But it was the only time that I've ever fallen asleep during a show. And I'm sitting on the ground. It's a black box theater, and I'm like trying to stay awake. And these are my favorite. I'm like, and I'm like, what's happening? And then Woody's like, why are their feet?
It's great. I'm having a great time.
I'm trying to stay awake, and then I was like, well, that's the whole thing. Waiting for Godot, the audience can fall asleep, but they can't. That's the whole theater of it all. And so I relay this story. My friend Sherry is like, well, you know my friend, you probably know him, Tony Shalhoub. He's coming over. And I relay the story, and she's like, that's so funny. The director of that show is also coming over. So I got to say hello to him as well. But I did not tell the story about falling asleep during his production of it. And that is one of the most New York Hollywood stories I've ever told in my life. But Tony Shalhoub is like one of my favorite obviously, he's one of the greatest actors ever. He's one of my favorites. And I don't think he has a lot of interactions with fans at all because he was not
really good in this movie. The man who
which you sent to me.
Yeah,
he's great.
This is
and
like
he's incredible in the Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Coen Brothers gem, and Shalhoub's great.
We haven't had a new Coen Brothers movie in how long?
That's Caesar.
That's the last one.
Yeah.
So, they kind of their next movie is just Joel. Ethan's not involved. They're doing Macbeth.
Wow.
Yeah, Ethan is not involved. It's just Joel. And Macbeth is Denzel, and Lady Macbeth is Frances McDormand.
I fixed Joel's internet. A friend of mine knew their producer who lives on the bottom floor of Joel Cohen's house in New York, Brownstone. And they keep their Fargo Oscar, whatever the Oscar was, it's in their bathroom on top. So if you're peeing, there's a shelf, and that's where the Oscar is.
That's pretty common.
It's pretty great. It was pretty great.
Yeah, Connor's seen that 100 times.
People like Hank who don't care.
But you know what? Instead, so they had the staircase. It was a brownstone, but it was a full house. So they had a staircase, but they also had a fireman's pole from the top floor to the ground floor. So you could take a fireman's pole down to the first floor for dinner.
I'm going with C. I'm going with C. But in my head, it's a baseball game. I really miss going to or a basketball game.
Yeah.
One of the writers directors from the film was in Hail Caesar, and so their storyboard artist, the Coen Brothers storyboard artist, was going to do our storyboards, and he lives in Dayton, Ohio. But then I think his wife got COVID. Something happened. They drove over there, and they were like, "Yeah, no, we're good. Never mind." So,
oh my God, Laura just sent one of the best pictures of me ever. This is amazing. You know what? I don't know if I want to go to any of these things in the spring. I would go to the Stanley Cup game because I've never been to a hockey game.
They're
right now.
pretty unique energy. Also, hockey is like the worst televised event.
It's more fun in person.
What you realize when you see it in person is that they're only televising like 25% of the game.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's completely different when you see it in person. You know. I don't know.
It's different. Like it's like NASCAR. You know, I used to work for a company that did stuff for NASCAR. And I went to a live one, and they're going so fast in person. TV sort of negates the speed, whereas you see it in person, they're going so fast that it freaks you out. The same thing with hockey. It's a totally different experience live.
I've never been to the Indy 500, but I know that they go super fast. Super.
They do. All right, let's.
I'm dying at this.
Here,
Yeah, Ryan. Ryan, when are we going to get you to LA? We have to do it in the spring. We can go to Musso's in the spring. You think
He'll
guys?
come when it's safe to come.
I mean,
once
I'm vaccinated and you're vaccinated,
it's not going to be the spring, Mike.
It's going to be maybe next fall, but none of us are high priority for getting the vaccine. So,
it's going to be. This is another year.
The first place we're going is Musso's.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's fine. I'll meet you. I'll go straight from the airport. I'll meet you there
for sure.
Was it the night you and I tried to go, Hank, and it was closed for a party?
Yeah.
And Ron too. That was a bummer.
Yeah, you and me and Ron were trying to go to Musso's, and we walked up, and it was this closed for private party. We were like, ah.
Yeah, that was a bummer. I'm trying to think of the people I've seen at Musso's. I saw Jeff Goldblum at Musso's. That was cool.
Wow. That's a good one.
I saw Fred Willard was there one of the last times we were there.
I saw Tucker Carlson.
Oh, remember you were talking to the waiter about that? Remember?
That was the whole thing, man.
Yeah. And that waiter who gave us the tour, I don't think he works there anymore.
He doesn't. Johnny
that's
doesn't
a bummer.
Yeah.
That's a bummer. Like, why would he leave?
I don't know, because he was tired of giving the same fucking speech to everyone every 5 minutes. Every table. so
he started
that there's, for people who haven't been there before, it's 101 years old and there's a lot of Hollywood stories. And so if you ever ask your waiter, your server, hey, so like, what's some of the history here? 9 out of 10 servers will say, "Let me grab Johnny." And the other server, the 1 out of 10, is Johnny. So if you have Johnny, that's great. And you'll notice that Johnny will come to your table and he'll give you this whole like Sinatra did this, Charlie Chaplin did that, Alfred Hitchcock did this, Mel Brooks did that, and he'll give you this great speech, and it'll be like 10 minutes of him putting on a show. It's awesome, and it's what makes that place special. And then you'll notice he's doing it to every table, and he's like using the same gestures and everything.
So funny. I live in Tennessee, and we used to go every year, but no. Oh, they're talking about Disney World, I think.
I mean, we were supposed to be in Disney 2 days ago until next week.
I think
really?
One of the coolest things I did in Tennessee that probably is not happening right now was Bluegrass Underground. It's a bluegrass concert in a cave. It was fucking awesome. So cool.
How are the acoustics?
Amazing, because they have this cavern in the cave. Like the acoustics of the cave are just naturally like as good as a recording studio. And so, and they bought the cave. It's privately owned. It's called Cumberland Caverns. And back when the crash, the economic crash happened in the Great Depression, they bought an Austrian crystal chandelier from a bank that went bankrupt in Brooklyn. And the thing's probably worth $250,000 or something now, but it's just hung in this cavern in this cave in Tennessee, and you sit under that and you listen to people play bluegrass. And like the green room, the quote unquote green room, is like the next cavern behind the stage, and you can kind of see it through this like narrow slit in the rocks, so you can kind of just see the other musicians milling about. And they've got like a little concessions cart set up in the cavern, so you can go get a hot dog and sit on the bleachers and watch the bluegrass. It's so fun.
That sounds great. That does sound
Bluegrass Underground in Cumberland Caverns.
All right, guys, I brought out the special drink. This is hard to find. This is a special occasion.
No.
I think it means a lot to all of us.
No, don't do it.
This.
No!
Be mad, Mike.
I know you're supposed to like really like cherish this thing and like drink it right and like a certain temperature,
You got that to celebrate me defending my dissertation, right, Hank?
Yeah. When I think of sloth shit, I'll always think of Ryan Hawk.
Claw. It's called Hank. It's got claw right in the name.
No, it's like literally there. If you do one of those charts, you have a bunch of dots
This is
in
not
one
soft
corner.
seltzer. This is not soft seltzer. It's hard seltzer.
Mike, you have to let us millennials be millennials. You have
All right,
to.
hold on a second. So let me like. I'm getting a lot of mango notes. Really only mango notes.
Oh my god! Right out of the can. Not even over ice.
Oh. Yeah, a lot of mango notes.
Why do you have that?
Because it tastes good and it gets me drunk.
It's like 100
I don't put
calories.
any effort into this.
It's a Weight Watchers special. The
100.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Hank's been on his 1 year plus wedding diet because the wedding got postponed. So he's been on a wedding diet for like over a calendar year.
2 years, dude.
2 years. He's gonna kill someone. He's gonna
No, I
snap.
got the smoker now. I got the smoker now.
Yeah, it's over. The smoker's gonna
tried-
ruin your
I
wedding
think I
diet.
didn't buy that suit.
Have you tried like a vodka or a rum or something with the White Claw? Have you tried to do anything with it? Tequila?
Max, isn't that what Ford Loco is? Isn't that illegal?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if I do that, I'll get arrested.
Yeah. The cops land.
He'll get arrested for illegal distillery.
A lot of mango. Has anyone-
Oh man, makes me think of like sitting in the Kentucky mountains. My old
Wait,
granddad
why is it a White Claw?
during the pro.
Why is it called
drink-
White Claw?
You're just drinking that good old dew. Hank.
You
That good
don't
old
know
Mountain Dew.
until you've had one, and as soon as you have a sip, you'll be like, "White Claw is the only thing they could have possibly named this."
How many calories is it?
100. It's like a
That's
100.
it? Okay.
170 for a.
Mango's got more than the others.
This is a pint.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy. Jesus, man.
Oh boy.
So hopefully at the next one, maybe you guys, if you guys save up, maybe you can each all have a mango. Mango.
Are
White
you
Claw.
allowed to eat at Musa's? Everything there's covered in sauce.
Because
Do you think Musa's will have White Claw at the when they reopen?
Yeah. You should go to the bar. I'll get a martini, and you ask for White Claw.
yeah.
And we'll see what happens. It'll be worse than
I'll
the
get
time
a-
you didn't wear a tie.
I tried to order our Martinez.
Man, the time I went
Musa
to
Frank.
it, fucked up.
The bartender at Moose and Frank, I said a Martinez, and he gave me a Manhattan. And then I had another one. I was like, so you know about a Martinez, right? He's like, it's in California. I get it. And he wouldn't make it. He wouldn't make it for me. He wouldn't make it. It's like the only. It's like that's my deep cut with the bartender is a Martinez. And he's like, yeah, it's a city in California.
He doesn't give a shit, Mike. Go order a martini.
Yeah,
That's a li-
He's seen people like me come and go. So what's great, a chat room. So and also,
Yeah, well, and one of them was
on the
Stephen
Moose
Lee.
and Frank, they actually make when you get a Manhattan or martini, they leave a little mini shaker with you, like a milkshake. So there's always a little bit left in the shaker, and you can make it.
And they,
Yeah,
they put it in a little tin container full of ice, so it stays cold as you.
And I'm
drink
not a
it.
martini guy, but the martinis are excellent.
I always
Really,
Mike,
really
there's
good.
Mike, I know you're a Bay Area guy at one point in your life. There's a bar called Blondie's in San Francisco. They do the same thing. And get this, on their menu, they have Manhattans. So you can get a Manhattan there if you want.
Do you miss San Francisco, Ryan?
Julie and I like to say that we miss it less every time we go back because it kind of sucks now.
Yeah, it's different now. Apparently, rents are plummeting, which is great because maybe San Francisco.
Are they down to like $3,500?
No, Hank, what do you
Your
want?
studio.
You want to live in an entire closet?
No.
come on.
I like everybody's leaving San Francisco.
A lot of my friends are.
I grew up there, and so like all the money's going away. So the hope is like the artists and the musicians and those people will start coming back. But I hear that it's a great time to negotiate your rent there.
Well, we were talking about that today in LA. Like,
I would relaunch.
if you're not renegotiating right now or moving to a better place because the rents are plummeting in LA, you're out of your mind. Hank.
Yeah. Hank,
I spent a week in Mill Valley. I really liked it up there.
can you just boot Gordon? Is there a way to eliminate him from?
Mill Valley? It was really pretty.
We do it all the time.
I was in the mountains or the trees.
I'm sure.
How's your house coming, Hank? I mean, Gordon. How's the construction in your house coming?
And you got more projects?
I
You
mean,
done?
I laid a new
Great
floor.
decoration.
Right, Eric. Huh?
I laid a floor.
What does that even
Yeah.
mean?
We just put floor down. I did that. It's hard.
It
Did
used
you,
to be all
did you
perfect.
level it?
Yeah, I leveled it.
Nah, it's just
Did you glue it? Glue it? Tongue and groove?
This is not tongue and groove. No,
Our floor is not level.
this is a
Put a
folding floor.
If you put a ball on our floor, I can tell you exactly which corner it's gonna. End up.
My Brooklyn apartment was a floor through, and I needed to, I should have just had a rope going from one wall to the other wall so I could hold on to it as I went to the bathroom.
in my apartment. The apartment I lived in Brooklyn before I moved here. There was no like right angles anywhere. All the doors were like kind of
yeah.
like that. And the doors, they had to shave the doors to fit the frames. The
No,
bathroom
every
was the
year-
worst. The bathroom was like this. It was like 100 and something year old tenement building that probably 100 years ago was like all garment workers, but
And now
it
you
drove
make
me
shirts.
crazy.
You design shirts.
Yeah,
So
I mean
you
they
know,
were sewing them
Alright.
for us. That's where the iFanboy shirts come from. Was
Mike, I
in
wasn't
my bathroom.
I wasn't allowed to put up my Christmas tree till I finished the floor, so I was like under pressure.
Do you get? I feel like Gordon has more time than you do. More in a day than I do in a month.
Oh, it's not saying a lot.
It's not saying a lot. No.
It's because he doesn't eat any meat, Mike. The meat is slowing you down.
Yeah,
Today,
he doesn't have the meat sweat.
He went to a liquor
Having a lot.
He got vegan tacos. He got regular tacos.
Yeah. Right.
Mike can't even get himself lunch.
I can't even get meat tacos.
It was bad.
Not good. Not
High
good.
five, Clementine. That was a good joke. High five. Yeah.
Tell me. Wait. Eric wants to know about Netflix, Gordon.
I don't know anything about Netflix.
I think he was making a joke based on Connor asking Hank about house stuff.
No, Gordon used to do our Netflix ads on the video show.
I did
Yeah.
used to go to Netflix ads. You can get
That was 12 years ago.
Oh, it's a callback.
yeah. I don't have any recollection of even what I said.
That was 12 years ago. That was a whole other decade of life ago.
I can tell you this about Netflix. They're still trying to have a virtual Christmas party.
No, are you serious?
What? Mike and I did that a couple years ago. A couple years ago.
There are some performers there. We got like a little teaser, and it might actually be kind of cool.
Who's the? Can you say
I
who's
don't know
going
if I'm
to
supposed to say anything, but it's definitely like household names for sure. Today,
Right.
here's an
Madonna?
yeah, Madonna's part of our fucking party. I was late today to this because I went to a virtual table read for a friend who's trying to sell a pilot. Yeah, and there were it was really good, and I think he's gonna sell it. It's gonna be awesome.
Did you play a part?
No, they were like I was just there to watch. There
Was it a remake of Heat and you were playing Wayne Grove?
yeah, it was 3.5 hours long.
Oh.
I have done so many table reads, and I always
Have you
like
done a Zoom one yet?
Huh?
Have you done a Zoom one yet?
No, I've only done the audition callback stuff. My joke was like I was doing a lot of table reads, and I had 2 characters, and then the stage directions that would be, and then I would scorn the leads, because a lot of people don't know how to do table reads. A lot of people can't actually. They're not good at it.
What's special about them?
Well, I'll tell you this. I've been to a lot of table reads in my life. There are a lot of the biggest difference is the people who have read the script and who are reading the script in front of you.
That's a cold read, and then you're like, well, why are we doing this
funny.
cold read?
Yeah.
And disaster.
The only of the like Zoom pandemic table reads I've watched was the Community one where they got Pedro Pascal to sub in for Walton Goggins, and Pedro clearly had not read the script. He was very busy having not gone to set for Mandalorian because he's never on set, right? Like he's on set.
Well, it was on set for the last one.
Whoa! People haven't watched it, Mike. We talked about this earlier. I've watched it. But
From
Gordon
what I
hasn't.
hear, he was clearly walking around.
Harley
Mike and
mentioned Cobra Kai season 3 on Netflix soon.
I haven't. You know what? I never saw Karate Kid.
Cobra Kai. Mike.
Whoa.
I grew up in that era.
Right. That seems like it's right up your alley.
No,
Exactly.
No.
Mike was in college.
No.
when that movie came out.
The thing is like one of those things was like, A, I didn't have a ton of friends to see movies with. And B, it was like one of those movies like, that's for kids. You know how like you want to
You were a kid.
No, but when you're a
Mike was
kid,
already
you don't,
smoking.
when you were a kid, you don't watch kids shit. You want to age up.
It wasn't a kid's movie. It's not a kid's movie.
Kid. What?
It's not a kid's movie.
When I was a kid, the Karate Kid was a kid's movie. It's like I'm not gonna watch that shit.
What was it? Are we talking about a different Karate Kid? It wasn't a kid's movie.
If there were children, Ralph Macchio is like a teeny.
Was 45 years old.
So, hey, to
I'm
answer
talking about
Marcus,
the Karate Kid.
I know, to answer
Let's talk about the Karate Kid.
Ralph Macchio had to shave every morning and make up.
Marcus asked a question. YouTube for a while was doing original programming. They're not really doing that anymore.
Right.
So they produced seasons 1 and 2 of Cobra Kai, and then Netflix bought the rights to stream it and is producing season 3.
1985. So
I
TR
thought
is saying Karate Kid was 1985.
You may know more than I do, Hank. Sorry if I got something wrong.
I think that they already aired on YouTube. You know,
Yes,
so they're buying
That's right.
they're buying
That's
a
right.
syndicated product. You know, it's
It's an
already
acquisition. It's an acquisition, not a development.
Season
Right.
3 is new, I believe.
Right.
I don't
So
think-
they bought the IP and the episodes along with it, and now they have the right to produce the rest of the show.
You
So
can say
season
we,
3
not
was-
they, Hank. We.
We?
We have
So
the right.
season 3 wasn't going to happen because YouTube.
I did get a gift from Ted Sarandos this week. I don't know. What did I get? What
Yeah,
was it?
we saw it. Oh,
What?
that was not the smoker. You didn't tell us what it was. You never told us what it was.
Oh, yeah. I can't show it because it's the show I'm working on.
It's proprietary?
It's proprietary.
Wow, interesting.
Wait. So, you're telling me I can have Patrick Warburton wish him a happy birthday on a closed set, and you can't show us a present you got?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Netflix. They have people in every corner. They're ready.
There's a guy behind his curtain. There's a guy behind his curtain just waiting.
Seriously.
Yeah, no, this is the last show that Connor's going to be doing from that location. It's pretty nondescript right now.
So wait,
In
Mike.
terms of Zoom parties, Mike and I used to work at a video game company that would have these crazy holiday parties. We'd fly out to Houston, and they spent way too much money on these crazy holiday parties back when the heyday and before the company crashed and burned, like all video companies do eventually.
I love it.
But the last one, before we all got laid off, was they had a party in Houston, and we watched the party through our office Alexa into their office Alexa. They just streamed the party to us while me and Mike and our other coworker Jen sat on our couch in our office with alcohol. We're like, what are we doing?
Remember, I was there and I kept trying to check in, and
you were there, you motherfucker. And Jen and I were the ones on the couch.
You and Jen
just
are like,
going, why are we watching this? Let's get the fuck out of here.
I need to drive home. I need
It's
to.
like when people put like they don't have a fireplace, so they put like a stream of a fireplace on their TV.
I do not understand that.
Just
I
like
do that.
I do that.
I do that.
Oh my god!
And I have a fireplace, and I still do that.
Nothing more comforting than the image of fire.
I don't like the smoke.
It's got a nice sound effect of the crackling.
Get a candle.
I'm gonna put some wood on this smoker. Put my hands over it.
Yeah. So what's the deal? Are you reading up on the smoker? Like, what's going on? Do you haven't read the manual?
Oh, here. This is the video that's I got synced up right here.
Is it a pellet smoker? Or what kind of what's the
smoked?
No,
you missed it, Ryan. He showed it earlier. He brought it in. It's a giant.
I saw it. That didn't help me understand the methodology.
It's a vertical charcoal smoker.
Yeah, there's Ron.
Oh, Ron's here. I gotta go. Ron,
Hank, listen.
All I want to do is talk about Steve Cohen for the next 2 hours.
Hank, we're not going to talk about anything until you get me that $150 you owe me.
What do I owe you $150 for?
You just look like a guy who perpetually owes everyone $150.
Oh, first of all, when you owe someone money, I'm the guy who shows up on your doorstep.
No, you're the guy who's always coming. Like, listen, I just need another tool. I got a great deal. I just need another 5 large, and I'm good.
I get you $250 tomorrow.
When have I not paid you back? Come on.
Yeah. I look like the kind of guy who can turn $1 into $1.10. It'll just cost $3.
Exactly. But yeah, if everyone wants to stay for the Steve Cohen hour, I'm on board.
Steve Cohen is already my favorite presence in baseball.
Hey, they're already making moves. Did you see that?
Hey,
No, who have they gotten?
They don't have a GM yet, and they signed James McCann.
Yeah, the catcher today.
Yeah.
So who's signing him? Cohen?
Steve Cohen, yeah.
And like the way that Cohen is interacting with the fans and the reporters on Twitter is insane.
Yep. And it's awesome to watch the Mets main social account try to keep up. Like the other day, they're like, our new owner has been talking a lot about black jerseys. What do you think? Vote on Instagram. And it's just
so Buster Olney tweeted like the Mets are looking at James McCann. Other teams are interested. And then Steve Cohen responded, "Keep me updated, Buster."
So, Ron, here's the things you missed so far. We talked about milk. We talked about cannibalism and our thoughts about that. We talked about Hank's the smoker he got for Christmas.
I'm for it.
It's big. What else?
Can we back up? Can we back up to milk?
Yeah, let's more milk talk.
And the movie with Sean Penn that came up briefly.
No, someone brought up almond milk, and it became a whole discussion about alternate milks that I was not a fan of the whole conversation.
I don't drink milk, so I won't have it.
I drink
the only milk I drink is Nesquik.
I've seen it.
Is it
But
pink?
pre-made? You don't make your own Nesquik.
No, you got to buy the bottle of Quick. In fact, there's one in the recycling. I had one this morning. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You don't
Ron,
keep the
how are
powder
you?
in your house in case of emergency?
I'm good. How are you, Mike? I'm
sorry. Every time I see you, you shrink.
Too.
You look great.
When everyone talks at once, that's the best.
Well, you're 2 hours behind on the alcohol.
Christ, we've been warming this crowd up for you all. It's like,
Oh, you missed the great story of Mike accidentally going to a vegan taco place for lunch today and having to eat the food he bought because he couldn't take the order back.
it's like
It was really.
it was
And
great.
then going to a regular taco spot.
And then I went to the regular taco spot.
You couldn't break it to them that you didn't know, right?
You know me very well. You're right. I kept ordering because I didn't want to disappoint the hot taco lady.
The line cook looks so excited. He put his cigarette out. He's like, "Oh shit, I got it."
I love it.
And did you stay there and pretend to be happy as you ate because you didn't want to let them down?
That's the thing in California right now. You can't. You have to take it home. So they didn't have to see my face.
That's good. That's good.
And go like, I'll send you the picture. It was.
You know, as soon as you left, they were probably like, "What the fuck was that guy's problem?"
That's so funny.
No. I majored in disappointing people. It's fine. They had no. They were none the wiser.
Oh my god! Oh, that was the laugh I needed. That was great, Romo. Hey Ryan, congratulations! By the way, man, I want to congratulate you on your doctorate. So
Appreciate that.
So Ryan, so when this whole Disney investor thing happened, did you know about the 97 shows that were coming out that were Star Wars related and all of that?
Kind of stepped on my congratulations there, Mike.
I don't care about that. We already talked about your.
Yeah, but
I majored in disappointing people.
I was finally getting congratulations from someone I respect.
Whoa!
Whoa!
We all congratulated you earlier.
That's true. Henry did have a White Claw in my.
Oh God, that's so funny. That's so funny.
I'm about to finish a White Claw in your honor too.
But anyway, Mike, I knew the Marvel stuff. I knew most of it, and then I found out the rest about it like a week before, and then everything else I got the briefing the night before for like Lucas and Disney and everybody else. Yeah, so yeah.
It was like an unending stream.
It was something. It was definitely and someone in the chat room asked if we had like a group watch as we were doing it. We were working because I don't know if you follow Marvel on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or Marvel.com, but like we were in it.
Content.
Yeah, exactly.
You are the spigot.
Yeah. So that was definitely a fun one, and afterwards we're all like, well, next time we should. And I'm like, guys, I hope there's not a next time where we announced 20 things in 20 minutes. Oh God,
It was amazing.
I wasn't paying too much. Was that like a Disney event? What was the
no? So every year they do, like twice a year or maybe once a year, but at some point they do a thing called Investor Day, which is typically a private event for investors. For Disney to be like, these are our plans, these are all the stuff like that. Because I guess because of the lack of any fan events and also because of COVID and stuff like that, they're like, fuck it, we're just going to do it publicly. And they turn.
We're all investors now.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. No.
So ordinarily, is that something that you would have to be there for?
No. It's never an actual event. It's always a call. Like it's just but this is the first time they up the they should have put that production A, they should have put it on Disney Plus, and B, just run it on ABC for Christ's sake. You know what I mean? That was it's technically a business event, but that was so consumer facing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So contractually, Hank and Josh can't be on the same show, so we have to say goodbye to.
Hi, Josh.
Kind of fucked up so far.
Ratings.
The drunks.
Good to see everybody. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah. We'll see you guys.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for hanging out.
Shift change, right?
This is the last one, though. It's over.
This is the last open to everybody. We're gonna keep. We'll talk about it later.
Ratings.
We'll talk about it later. All right.
Ratings.
Bye, guys. Thanks for hanging out. That was fun.
Nice to see everybody.
They're not
Doctor?
patrons. They can't.
Doctor, thank you for
Thank you
coming.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, Doctor.
Congratulations
Bye,
again.
everybody.
All right,
John,
I'm gonna
see you.
Calling him
say
that for
goodbye
so
to
long.
goodbye and
I know, right?
goodbye and goodbye.
They could have stuck around. It's the end of the year. That would have been
If they
fun.
want,
much.
I'll let them know if they can come back if they want.
I mean, I don't know how Josh feels, but yeah,
It gets a little crowded.
it does.
You were talking
Everybody
about milk and
talking over each
cannibalism.
other.
And I'm sure Connor has some sort of thing to spring on us. So
I don't have anything. I've been a little busy.
I'm fine with bringing anybody else back if they're still online. So
I'll ask.
I hope
Ryan's
you
here.
weren't
I'll
thinking
bring it
I would
back.
come with a topic.
Hey, Ryan's back.
I just messaged the group saying we didn't want to come back, but that's fine. Hi.
You're lucky you didn't have one of those what's his name moments.
Oh yeah, I wasn't immediately masturbating. Is that what you're saying?
That's the
Jeez.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what happens is as soon as Ryan's out of the stream, he immediately starts masturbating. And so, luckily, we caught him in that moment.
I mean,
Not but true.
I will say, Josh, you missed a primo Romo bit just before.
Okay.
Romo
Are you going
went
to
to
recap it for
I
anybody who's
will.
still on? Or
I will. Romo went to get tacos, and he actually went to a vegan taco place, but didn't realize until after he had ordered, and so he just went with it.
No, he realized it in the middle of ordering. He was in the middle of talking, and he saw the sign,
I mean,
And
they were
he-
calling things fish.
and he just was like, "Well, I guess I have to just keep going, otherwise I'll be disappointed." So he had a bad taco day.
That's so funny.
But
so
he's
that was
telling
that's the real question, because like on TV, that story becomes like, you know what? But they were great, and I would have
No,
never tried it
no.
other's. But in
They were
real life,
terrible.
it's like, no, this is terrible.
He sent us photos today. They looked terrible, and they were terrible, according to him.
Yeah,
Let's see.
that makes sense.
This was the fish one. You can't really tell the details, but it
Yeah,
did
I
not
can't.
look good. It's like gray in the middle.
I believe you. I can't. See it, but-
All right. How's everyone? Oh, Gordon's back. All right, I'll bring Gordon back in. All right.
I can
Really,
only
it's just
stay,
Hank was the problem.
I can only stay till Josephine gets back, and then I'm done.
Hey, Gordon, I didn't even get to talk to you. How are you, my
Hey,
friend?
Ron, how are you?
So festive there. I'm so jealous. Yeah.
I was the
Josh,
last.
do you have a new camera?
No.
Your camera's incredibly sharp tonight.
Oh wow, it looks
I don't know.
incredibly sharp, Josh.
This is the first time we've seen your new office since we've had these hangouts, right?
No, we've been in there
One other
before.
time, I think.
Last time.
Well,
Yeah.
Give us the tour.
I swear we did this already.
We did this last time. He did the standing desk thing. We saw the whole
Yeah.
bit. It's fun.
Yeah.
Oh, we did send you, but that's right. That's right.
Gordon, can you tell us about the Christmas tree?
Well, that's the main tree.
Which one?
Right. The others, there are a bunch like on this other side behind me. But
Right, but what sizes are the others?
some are 7, some are 6, some are 4.
And what's the main?
That one's 7.5.
Right.
I think the most impressive part is that you have a real accurate sort of mental catalog of the heights of all of the trees. It's not like there's how many there are. And I know that that's your thing, but like I don't think people understand that going along with all of your education and experience and knowledge is an almost useless apparatus for remembering the specific heights of trees within an 18-inch range.
That actually reminds me, for those everyone watching, I don't know if you guys know or not, but Josh, Connor, Gordon, and I all went to college together. And guys, this will be relevant to your interest. So my niece Amelia is a senior in high school and is applying to colleges.
Fuck, did that happen?
Of her own volition, she applied to Ithaca, which is great, because she wants, and it's in the mix. And so I was like, well, I'm an alumni. There's got to be something I can do. So I wrote her a recommendation letter. I sent it to the admissions office. And as I'm writing the letter, I'm like, I know she's my niece. I know I'm probably predisposed to like her, but honestly, she's a good kid. And I told some stories about all the stuff. And then I wrapped it up and I said, let's be honest, she's a way better student than I was, and I got in. So maybe I don't need to be writing this. Who knows? But either way, she'll be a good addition. And look, so she has not heard back yet, though. And if she doesn't get in, I'm really gonna feel bad because I feel like my what's the word? My candidness might have gotten in the way.
Is that her first choice?
No, she doesn't. The kid doesn't have. She applied to 16 schools.
It's so easy now with the Common App. They don't like.
Yeah.
Lexi applied to.
I had to write it out by hand and mail it.
My sister.
I couldn't afford to do more than 3.
I think I did 5.
My sister's been explaining to me that apparently it's all different now. That like social media has unlocked a whole level of smaller schools that are now like aggressively recruiting kids and things like that. And so it's basically like it's completely different from when we applied to schools, and like schools struggle to get kids to apply now. Like that's the challenge. But that's one side of it. But the other side of it is that Amelia she has like her top 5 choices. Like she can't narrow. Like there's not one place. I literally only applied to Ithaca. I applied to Ithaca.
Well, all your eggs in one basket, huh?
I applied to Ithaca and I had the application to NYU a quarter filled out, and I made it like a quarter of the way. I'm like, I'm not finishing this. I'm like, I don't want to go to NYU. So,
I mean, I can tell you, as someone who works at a college, it's totally different. I mean, and the expectations for what they get when they arrive, like it's nothing like when we were there.
Yeah.
In what way though? So like you're saying those things, but like how is it? Because like literally my thing was I didn't know anything because there was no internet and I didn't know anybody who went to college. And 2, like I think that the applications were like $60 a piece, and I was like, I can't do many of these.
No, you do. There's a Common App, so you don't even pay for them anymore. You just you fill it out and you say, oh, this school, and it goes to all those schools. Most of them don't need an essay anymore. And then the kids, I mean, they're picking schools based on the amenities that the college offers now. So like what kind of, not what class, not what major, like what things does it have that like I want in my life?
That was when I asked Amelia, I'm like, do you have any questions about Ithaca? Like, what can I answer? And she's like, yeah. So what do people, she's wanting to know what people, like, did people go off campus and what do they do for culture in Ithaca? And I was like, well, let me preface my answer. I haven't been there for 20 plus years. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Also, you were pretty atypical.
No,
you do. Well, you start your own magazine. They used to have magazines.
No. But
you go to hardcore shows all the time.
But I said it's safe to say that people left. That you could stay on campus and do stuff, but there was stuff to do off campus. And like we used to go to movies at Cornell. We used to go to Fall Creek. We used to like we found there what like Ithaca's. I told her Ithaca is one of the most enlightened cities in the country. Like there's always going to be something to do there, and having Cornell there is helpful. And yeah, so like, but either way, it was just like, I was like, it's been 25 years. I could tell you about the pizza place that we like that no longer exists. So
Rogan's is gone?
Rogan's is long gone, my friend.
Oh yeah, it's totally gone. I went up the guy's nose.
DP Dough is still there.
Well, DP Dough is a nationwide chain now.
The Haunt is
the original there?
There's one in Laramie.
There's a DP Go in Bloomington near me.
Yeah, it's a
Greg
chain.
Graffin lives there. Does that help?
The Haunt is still there, from what I heard.
Really?
Yeah.
Ryan, where did you go to college?
Santa
Undergrad.
Cruz.
Santa Cruz.
Oh, that's right. That's
It's
right.
Ryan
That's
from
right.
Santa Cruz, for fuck's sake.
That's right. Surfing.
Yep, I did surf when I lived in Santa Cruz.
Did
I
you?
left my surfboard in Santa Cruz just like Josh left his smoker in LA. That's the thing I learned tonight, Josh. Was about the
Yeah,
smoker.
that's true.
Hank got a smoker
Were you
for
just a
his
surfer?
boss gave him a smoker.
Nice. Were you just a surfer like when you got there? Like you're like freshman year, I'm like, I'm going to take up surfing and then surf for a few years and then
The university offered a class, so I took a
did
class.
you have to buy a surfboard for it?
Yeah, Craigslist.
Hey, millennials get that kind of stuff. We didn't have surfing. Well, I mean,
I bought a
I
surfboard.
mean, like,
I bought a surfboard that was held together with aftermarket epoxy and duct tape, and it was fucking great. I love that board, and yeah.
I'm guessing in a community like that, the aftermarket like beginner surfboard.
Pretty good.
Gordon,
Yeah, it was a 9.5 foot long board, and I got a surf suit from a shop in town that had it on the clearance rack, and it fit me fine. I still have the. I still have the
you
surf
don't want a
suit.
used surf suit.
No, did not get a used surf suit, but I got one on clearance. A 4-3 wetsuit, and yeah, I had a couple of places around town I would go. My favorite spot was a spot called 4 Mile. It was about 4 miles north of Santa Cruz. Go figure. And
Hey,
yeah, I love.
Hey, Ryan, one of our mutual friends now lives in Santa Cruz.
Who's that?
Ash.
Oh, really?
Yep, Ash and his new lady friend bought a place in Santa Cruz, and because COVID and all this stuff, they got out of San Francisco and they bought a condo, and he's keeping his apartment in San Francisco, which when this is back to normal, I look forward to using when I stay in San Francisco. But yeah, because he didn't need to go to the office anymore, he's like, why not? So we
were talking about that earlier about how the rents are crashing in San Francisco and LA. The rents are crashing.
Yep.
People are bailing. If you're renting in a big city, you should be trying to renegotiate or looking for a better place, because right now everything is.
And also, if you own a house, you should be refinancing. Like like the rates are better than ever, and all that sort of stuff. Like, it's funny though because we're moving, and everyone's like, oh, and it's like, no, actually, we're moving because we're in 500 square feet, and there are 4 of us, and we need more room.
Four of us and 50% of you are only getting bigger.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I would say 75% of us. No, yeah, our move has nothing to do with COVID, so it's like, oh God, so crazy. But
let's see. We also discussed everyone's final film at the theater based on the conversation we all had on the All Media show.
I'm sorry, this is all repeat because I missed it because I was watching
That's
Mandalorian. Gordon and Ryan,
was,
what were yours?
Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
I had a different one, but Connor said it didn't count. So
he did his own film. He had a screening of it.
It doesn't count.
No,
It's
that doesn't
like the screening I saw in March doesn't count.
Right.
What was yours?
Because you're still not allowed to talk about it. So
Well, Gordon named mine for me. It was Rise of.
it's Black Widow, but
Yeah.
I think it was. I think it was. Everybody's was the Rise of Skywalker except for me and Hank.
I saw a movie in February.
I saw
So did
several
Josh.
movies in February.
Yeah.
Josh saw it too.
I wasn't sure if it was Sonic the Hedgehog, Call of the Wild, or The Gentleman, but then I looked at the calendar.
We didn't get to talk about it on the All Media show that has been recorded already, but or a Media Explode.
Almost not editing it.
Josh, how was Sonic the Hedgehog?
Sonic the Hedgehog was better than I thought it was going to be because I thought it was going to be terrible. Cyclops guy was actually pretty good and was kind of interesting to watch with his girlfriend. And Jim Carrey, who I don't really like that much, definitely still has a sort of star power that stands out on screen where so it had strengths to it that I did not expect to see. It was fine.
Yeah.
apparently Jim Carrey is like an actor that does not like to be in his trailer. He'll just keep giving you take after take after take.
I believe that.
And they're all like solid gold.
Might I recommend? I'm gonna. This is a half recommendation, but on Netflix, the series, The Movies That Made Us, those documentaries about movies.
So good.
Well, so they came out with holiday movies, and they did 2 documentary doc episodes. I've only watched one. They did Elf and they did Nightmare Before Christmas, and we watched the Elf one last night. And I don't know what it was about that one, but this one was like way more off-putting than the other ones. Like the cut, like what they were doing was they had the narrator finishing interviewee sentences in a weird like the subject would say something and then the narrator would add to it and then the subject would say something again, and the edits were way too fat. Maybe I'm getting old, but like it just felt watch it, Gordon, because I'd be curious what you think based on the other ones. But that said, it is worth watching, Josh and Connor and Ryan, purely for the section where they talk about Jimmy Caan on set. Because like, you know, the idea that James Caan was in that movie, like I kind of forgot about, and like the impact on it that it had. It's worth watching period just because it's an interesting story about the production. But all the James Caan stuff is gold. So
we were also trying to convince Gordon to watch Ted Lasso.
Oh,
Ryan
yes.
Ryan is also a convert.
Oh God.
I caught
100%.
up. I'm on board.
Yeah, you have to.
Gordon, best TV show of the year. Best TV show of the year, hands down.
I'm not opposed to it. I just haven't. I got to do it. I got to get.
So
there was
there's a story in that Comedy Store documentary that was on Showtime about Jim Carrey going on stage at some point and completely bombing like early in the night, walking across the room, getting inside the piano, and waiting there for them, staying inside of it for them to close, which is at like 3 a.m. So he sat in that piano waiting to like make an entrance and come back out for like 8 hours. I was like, it's commitment. You have to give it to him.
No, that documentary was mostly good, and he was a good and interesting artist.
Yeah,
For sure.
It's true. I tend to not like him because his style tends to be really broad and big.
And loud.
And
You don't like loud. You don't like loud.
Which is interesting.
Yeah,
his
I like
Showtime show is the opposite of that. His Mr. Rogers,
Right.
He's all quiet and it's not broad whatsoever. It was really good.
Yeah,
it was the one that Michael
get-
Gondry made.
Yeah, he's just not my favorite. I obviously, like I said, when I watched Sonic, I literally was like, you know what, that guy is really good. I have to admit it, but I don't.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you
I
what.
don't buy him
not
in the quiet stuff at all.
Not a fan of his Biden on SNL.
He's fine.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with it.
I think Jason Sudeikis did a better job.
Yeah.
Ted Lasso himself.
It all comes back around to Ted Lasso. Gordon, watch it. You should hang up this call and go watch it.
Kate McKinnon's Giuliani is perfect.
Can I tell you, I hate it, and I'm starting to really dislike Kate McKinnon, like and her impressions.
I used
and all
to
this
not
sort of
like
stuff.
her. Now I like her.
Yeah. No, I can't stand the Giuliani. I can't stand it. It's like it's
I think that it's ridiculous because he's ridiculous, even though it's one of those things. It's like Dana Carvey's George Bush. It after a while, it had nothing to do with George Bush.
Yep.
It was just its thing. But he's such a Looney Tunes nutbag now that
I will say in the Elf episode, they showed a clip because they're talking about the casting of Will Ferrell and what he was doing at the time, and they showed a quick clip of him doing his Bush, and I just forgot how great his Bush is
when we did the Linz and I still mentioned it. He'll go like, "Oh hey, I was just mending my fences," and he's around.
So good.
You know what we always talk about with him? You ever see his SNL audition?
Yes.
His SNL audition tape where he does the thing where he's barbecuing. He's like, "Hey, good to see you come out here. Hey kids, can you get off the shed?"
Yeah.
And then like he goes back and like over the conversation, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Get off the shed! It's so good. It's like it's his audition tape. It's as funny as anything else he's ever done.
Here's a question. This came up I was on a Zoom call actually, Ryan, for Ash's birthday the other day. There was a big Zoom call with all his friends and an SNL sketch. It was a digital short that came out that SNL has erased from the archives. Will Ferrell was in it. Ben Stiller was in it. It's The H is O. Have you ever seen that one?
No, I haven't.
Google The H is O. And there's a Vimeo link. Someone put it up, and it's a digital short. And it's Will Ferrell, Ben Stiller, and it's an Adam McKay sketch, and it's bonkers. It's
about the economy and wealth inequality and
no. It's about a bunch of guys in a bar, and then one of them sees, I think, Glenn Fry from the. Yeah,
yeah,
the,
I remember that one.
H2O, yeah. And then they see Glenn
Yeah.
Fry from the Eagles, and they dare the other one to go hit on Glenn Fry from the Eagles. And it was the H is O.
Yeah.
So, Josh, you should go watch that because I'd be curious if you saw it. I'd be curious what you think of it.
All right.
Yeah.
I went back and
I
I watched The Other Guys, I don't know, 6-8 months ago or something like that. And that is like the beginning of his change from comedy to economics. Like the end of that movie is really just all about real estate and wealth inequality and stuff. I was like, oh, he started this early.
Oh, Adam McKay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched The Other Guys during quarantine as well, probably around the same time. Synchronicity somehow. Didn't love it.
I didn't love it the first time I saw it. I liked it more the second time because I think largely that Wahlberg can't hang with Farrell. Wahlberg's not funny, and he's not a good enough man to be a straight man, and so there was an imbalance there.
Well,
Although
Wahlberg,
I didn't mind.
I
less
would
the
disagree
second
with that.
time.
I think Wahlberg is funny, but it's that unintentional funny.
I think he's very funny. Yeah. I think he's very funny.
I think he's the worst actor, but he's really engaging to watch for some reason. He's terrible.
It's called star power. Not all stars are
Je ne
good actors.
sais quoi. Je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
He's not
You
good.
can't take your eyes off.
So, Gordon, tell us about Patrick Warburton.
He's a wonderful man, super friendly, awesome to hang out with. I picked him up from the airport. He's like, "Hey, you want to hang out and get some chow?" I was like, "Sure, I would love to get some chow."
But he wanted
You know
beef.
what's great about him is,
You were like,
I
no.
always thought that Putty on Seinfeld was really funny, kind of. And then at some point, like at the end of all the Seinfeld DVDs, there are these little like, not a making of for every episode, but it's like a 2-3 minute thing. And every time Jerry would start to talk about him doing Putty, Jerry would crack up laughing just thinking about it. And the more that he did that, the funnier it got to me. Because like there would just be a couple of things when Jerry really laughed at something, then you were like, oh, that is really funny. Yeah. And so now when we go back and watch those, which still happens, like the Putty stuff is so killer in a way that I don't think I understood early on.
I'm kind of kicking myself, Gordon, that I didn't, because also you don't want to bother anybody, but I wish I had told you when you were shooting the film to talk to him about his role on Soren.
Oh, yeah. I should have.
Yeah. That's like when I had the Zoom call with Ken Marino, and he said, "Okay, you guys can ask me about any roles I've had," and I asked him about his role on Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster, and he proceeded. He's like, "Yeah, no big story. It was just a 1-day gig," and then told a 45-minute story about Aerosmith and Steven Tyler.
No, but Patrick, he was very cool, very. I don't like as down to earth as you would imagine. So
yeah, very cool. Good cast.
All the time.
Ryan, are you watching Netflix? What's happening over here in the corner?
I'm looking at maps. I like maps.
Now that he's finished up this whole paleontologist thing, he's going for a cartography thing. He's just trying to figure out how he's going after it.
A lot of paleontology is maps.
How many years were you in school for your doctorate?
As long as I've known you, Ryan, you've been in school.
Well, yeah, I've been in school, but you met me in undergrad.
So
you started college, and how many years have you been in higher education as a student?
Started college in 2004.
Oh, 16 years?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, four degrees.
So now, hang on. So now that you've reached this pinnacle of your career, are you gonna have like now what? Like you don't know what to do now? Like you?
Well, he's not going to Disney World.
Oh, I haven't announced this, but I got a job. I start Monday.
Is it the one I know about?
Doing what?
I will be the director of STEM programming for the Charleston area of the National Youth Science Foundation.
Oh yeah, I remember you interviewed for that.
South Carolina?
Charleston, West Virginia, my home state.
Oh, the one we've been talking about.
Wild and Wonderful, yes.
They need help with education, so yeah, get on that.
I'm working on it. I'm gonna start working on it on Monday.
Yeah.
So what happens? You stay in
Yeah. How far is the commute? Or do you have to?
The job will be remote to start. Julie's job here in DC is stable, so we're not planning on relocating full time. My parents are still in Charleston, so if I need a landing pad there, I'm lucky, privileged to have that. And they also have a facility, the National Youth Science Center in Davis, West Virginia, which is about 3 hours from DC, and then Charleston's about 6 hours. So like there's a perfect little 3 hour in between mark. So I will be in Charleston as often as needed, and then they're also this just stays between us and the patrons. We're going to be working on some programming in the DC area, which will, if that comes to fruition, will mean I'll have something to do in DC. So it should all be good.
Off to the post.
No,
I'm reading it right now.
I know none of you are on Twitter anymore, so
I am.
alone.
I am. I'm there, but barely. I read.
You're not you're not. It's not like a personal thing. Like you're very.
No, I'm non sequitur.
Right. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
it's not like, oh man, I'll miss your personality around. It's not.
No,
that.
no. Yeah, no, because I got to keep an eye on it for work and all that sort of stuff. But every now and then I'll say some random thing that nobody knows the context for, or I'll yell at the Republican representative for Long Island, tell him that he's should be ashamed of
Is that
himself.
King? Is that Peter King?
No,
Is there a
Zeldin.
Peter King's gone, isn't he?
Oh.
Zeldin.
That's what I thought. Is he dead?
How dare you, Connor? How dare you?
Nice chew.
I got to go with the chew, but then you got to subdivide that. You got chocolate, strawberry, vanilla. I love
Hell
Charleston
yeah,
chew, vanilla.
100%.
I drove
Gordon,
to
how many
West
trees
Virginia
do
for
you
a
have
little
up?
bit. And what
Are
are
they
those
all-
heights again?
Right now, they're just 6.
Are they real or fake?
Oh no, they're all fake. They go up at Halloween and they stay up till February.
You don't have a real tree in your house?
Connor, I can't afford the damage of like having to take one down early. I mean,
The emotional damage.
Emotional damage. Yeah.
it would be too much.
Ron, I gotta tell you, man, I love your Christmas tree posts with the out on the street.
A lot of people do. A lot of people do.
It's a good bit. You really gotta.
We got to say goodbye to it because I don't think I'm going to see a lot in the suburbs. But maybe I'll figure out a way to
What would be great is if you like on weekends, like through the fall and you know the earlier part of the mid part of winter, you're like 2 hours a day on the weekends. I gotta go.
Yeah.
Just drive around aimlessly.
Or accept submissions.
But that's the thing. I will say that that last year it was, and my approach to this is to stop it because last year I saw a huge influx of people deciding to send me the ones that they saw, which I was like, that's great, but I'm not running a UGC campaign here. This is not,
You're the John Worster of Christmas trees.
Ryan in the chat room.
So that
Brad
means that we're not
said-
going to get it this year, really. Maybe like a little.
Well,
but-
did you see I posted the first one or the last one?
I saw that one already.
I
yeah.
saw that, which is, you know.
Ryan in the chat room. Brad says in January I need you to come talk to my middle school class. You gave me your email address last time, but I have been slammed and haven't been able to email you. But they would love to hear you talk.
Well, we're not letting him go in, so
Willing to do it virtually in a Zoom call, but you will have to email me. I can't promise to remember anything that happens in the next.
Yeah, you. It's like Apex Tech. I can't call you. You have to take the first step. That's a New York metro area joke for you there. There it is.
Ron, I miss
specific
pinball
time.
so much.
What, Ryan?
I miss pinball so much.
You miss pinball. Jeez, I miss
Well,
pinball.
yeah, I mean, I'm nothing compared to you, but I'm
know.
letting you know.
I went a couple of weeks ago. I went to the bar in Brooklyn who got a bunch of the new machines that came out for like an hour. I got out and got to play the new Guns N' Roses machine, which is pretty awesome. So
How is Scorbit doing?
doing really well. Yeah, it's doing good. We plugging along.
Tell people what it is in case they don't hear you when you come on the show.
Scorbit is a platform that is connecting pinball to the internet. We have a mobile app where you can find pinball locations and you can keep track of your scores. And then we're going to be doing more stuff in the app for players and things like that. Like you'll be able to currently now you can, like, if you get a score, I can challenge somebody to beat that score, but we're going to start doing like virtual tournaments and things like that. But then we made a piece of hardware that goes inside pinball machines. And as you know, pinball machines are being made now, like today, but even the ones being made today, none of them are connected. None of them have any connectivity.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
It's just like it's only 70-year-old people working at pinball factories now.
Yeah, no. There's some young people, but it's definitely not the people running it. Aren't 21st century people.
I mean, clearly.
But even the machines made in the early 2000s and the 90s and the 80s and the 70s have no connectivity. So we built a device that goes in pinball machines and is able to connect them to the internet. And so that way, if you have our app, you can keep track of your score without even having to type in the score. It just automatically saves. There's a whole bunch of more stuff that we can do with that. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, we're doing well. It's crazy. But
who's making the actual device?
We manufacture in China, so we have the schematic and we send it somewhere, and then they send us the boards and everything. So
then you got to figure in a 15% increase in the price too. So that's
that's a whole.
There are things like customs and Chinese holidays, the Chinese New Year's that fuck you up with manufacturing. That's a whole thing.
But luckily our supply chain is okay, and we're managing our demand and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, no, you figure out your BOM, as they call it, your bill of materials, how much it costs to make the device, and then how much you want to sell it for. Like that's all the stuff that we've been doing and figuring out. It's crazy. So it's called. Someone asked in the chat room. It's called Scorbit. If you go to Scorbit.io, that's SCORBIT.io. You can find all the information there, links to download the app, go buy one. Yeah,
what's it?
Cool.
Scorbit.com.
Nothing, and we're keeping an eye on that domain to try to get it when it goes live, when it gets unregistered. But
is there a market for artisanal circuit boards that we could make in the U.S. here?
Artisanal.
Not that kind. There isn't guitar pedals, but that's probably not what you meant.
Yeah.
I was just, like handcrafted circuit boards. You don't have
what would they do?
Like point to point. Well, there's printed
PLM
circuit boards, which is
Ron circuit boards are going to do.
Are you trying to bring the jobs back to
boards,
America?
which
Is
are
that
all
what you're
sort of
trying to do?
manufactured.
No, I'm just thinking out loud. I'm just thinking about
soldered ones. Those get
hand soldered artisanal circuit boards. Exactly.
That would cost a lot more.
But think about the quality of that handcrafted material.
Ron, what is the best all-time pinball machine?
It's a very personal question, Connor.
Right. Well, for you, what is it?
Wait, so that said, like, if you were to ask, like,
is there
like,
a well-known?
Like, is there a like people who like what's the best rock band? Most people, well, the Beatles are the most obvious answer. What is the Beatles of pinball?
Well, I will. So probably it's safe to say it's Medieval Madness. Came out in 1995 from Bally Midway. It's a what? Yeah.
What? This is a surprising answer.
Fun fact: Tina Fey does a voice on the pinball machine because you know how comics New York used to be a hub, and for movies LA is a hub. Chicago is the heart of pinball in the country, and in the mid 90s they would cast improv people to do the voiceover stuff, and Tina Fey did the voice of the princess on Medieval Madness. So there it is. But yeah, no, that's
that it would be a game from when people played pinball. As opposed to, I don't know, like has there been a large pinball subculture? I feel like this is like a hipster thing that happened lately.
No.
But has it always been a thing?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
The pinball boom was the 90s.
Hey, let's say good night to everybody now that you're back.
Oh, hey Josephine. Good night.
Josephine.
Good night.
All right.
Good night, Josephine.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, Gordo.
Hello.
Bye, Dan.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Josephine.
It looks like with the three of you there. It looks like your background is a green screen virtual background. It doesn't look real.
Just screenshot that shit. Screenshot that, and your Christmas cards are done.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Red.
I'll tell you what. When I was in 5th grade, we threw a party to celebrate our 5th, leaving elementary school, and we invited everybody in my class, and we rented a pinball machine, and you would have thought it was the greatest party of all time because
I would have. What machine?
In 1980, what was it? When we graduated 5th grade, it was 88. 88. It was a Spider-Man pinball machine. And I have photos of it. I have photos
huge.
of it.
It was big.
Yeah.
A wide body. Yeah, I know that one.
And I have photos of the party and kids playing it. And it was just like, they were like, "This is a pinball machine!" Like, it was like the greatest thing.
Yep.
That ever
But you
happened.
didn't have to put quarters in.
No, it was rigged, so you just hit the button to start.
Right. That's what I mean. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
Like that was a big deal then. Just imagine you could just do that. Because when I went to like, there's an arcade south of me for a while. It was awesome. But like every pinball game was like 75 cents or $1. And I was like, I'm not good enough at this to make it worth it. It's like,
we went to the place in Portland. What was the place we went to in Ron? The place in Portland that was really fun.
I mean, you throw a rock in Portland and you hit a place.
No, you and I went there with Gordon, and we were there.
No, we went to a couple of places, but what's the name of the one? It's the bar, the arcade with
place in Portland. Quarter World.
Quarter World, yeah.
Quarter World, that was it.
Yeah.
We still have the cup because it says we keep our laundry quarters in it.
Dan, I have not been to Pinfest, but it's on my list to go to when things get back to normal. But
I think Ron, I texted you about the organic market in College Park, Maryland, that has the secret pinball room.
Yep, very cool.
It's fucking awesome.
I think it's cool that pinball has an underground popular culture to it. That it's increasing. I think
it's also really sad though, because like it had been on the rise. It's been booming lately. And like one of the best things of it was every July in Pittsburgh there was an event called Pinburgh, which was the biggest tournament in the world. I played in it since 2016. That was my first year, so I got to go for at least 3 years. And I think the last in 2019 it had 1,000 entrants, between 800 and 1,000 people entered. Just insane. Like took over. Like imagine the convention, like the Pittsburgh Convention Center. So imagine like Moscone, and half of it is just all banks of pinball machines. Like, and that's where the tournament was, and the other half of the convention was like a retro video game convention type thing. But they canceled it this year because of COVID, and unfortunately, they took such a hit that they just killed the entire convention and tournament, and they're selling the games off, the collection off, and so like we will never have that again, because there's like one guy's collection that could manage that tournament, and the fact that they were millions of dollars in debt because they didn't do the event, so they had to, that's what they had to do.
It's interesting. It shows you how many industries have run on basically no margin or registered margin.
Correct.
And just one missing one event sinks the whole business.
Well, if you're that kind of thing, that's your whole.
No, but
think about this one guy.
It's universal.
Are there
so many places.
Are there shows are there comic book shows like that are still like run by one guy that Reed didn't scrape up? Like, is there one?
It's pretty much just here. It's just Heroes. That's the only one left, really. Yeah.
But that's at least connected to a shop, so they have a business around it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it just shows you how much of the world is on the razor's edge all the time anyway.
So here's my question about pinball. When did this become a thing for you? Because it wasn't always, or if it was a secret, but there wasn't like a day where
you weren't telling us in our 20s and
guys, I started playing pinball.
Oh no. It was
or at least taking it serious.
No, yeah, it was. I can go back. I can tell you exactly when and how. It was in San Francisco, so it wasn't until in my 30s. And it was literally, and Ryan will appreciate this. It was Medieval Madness at Molotov's, which was the bar across the street from my apartment. And,
that's right. You'd play pinball there all the time.
Yeah,
that's
and
right.
and so then what happened was that I would go there.
Once.
Probably it was
we did. I was there with him.
Yeah,
I spent most of my time at Tornado's across the street, which was a better bar, but
right. But there's that pinball.
Shots fired.
I'm not going to dispute that, but you can't get a cocktail Tornado. So like that's
no, you can't. It was a beer bar.
Yeah. So no. So I would play there, and then my friend Brian O'Neill and his wife Allison would come hang out. We'd play, and they didn't know anything either. And like one night, we just spent the whole night on the machine, and we like figured it out. Josh, like it's similar to that night in Gordon's house at that party when we figured out the wrestling game, and like we just like it was that sort of thing. We're like, oh, if you do this, this, and this, you get multi-ball. And we started screaming, and so then we just were playing and practicing more. And then one of us heard that there was a league starting. And so we found the website, we signed up, and it turned out to be the first season of a new pinball league. And so we just signed up, not knowing anything about it, not knowing that like half the members were like one of the members was a former world champion, and like half the members were like top 50 ranked people. And then this league went on to become, and so that was like maybe 2012 or 2013. And then this league went on to become one of like the premier leagues in the country. Like I tell people, I'm like, oh, I'm a member of SFPD, and they were like, oh, you're in that league, and like there was like a wait list of 150 people long to get into it, and like yeah, so but yeah, it's within the last 10 years, so it's not like it was a secret, Josh. So
Yeah. No, I know that. I just like it was just a thing one day.
yeah,
It's like you. Well, what did that?
That's
I mean,
a good question. What have you gotten into? Like, is there anything you've gotten into, Josh, in the last 10 years? Like that you're really into now that you weren't 10 years ago?
yes,
Records, guitars.
yeah, like all the shit that you're doing now. I mean, like you didn't
Yeah,
you
I
liked
mean, like,
you
when
liked
I got-
music, but you weren't like the way you are now. So
when I got to New Hampshire, I finally was able to buy a mountain bike, so I could start doing that for a while.
Yeah,
And I
mountain
really
biking for a
love it.
while. That's right. Until you almost died.
But what happened was I just I just couldn't fit it in anymore. Just because with the kids and work and all the stuff, like and I started getting more and more out of shape, so that when I did go, it wasn't fun at all, and I just couldn't. Like it just, and it's funny because I knew guys earlier on who were like, yeah, I'm just gonna have to sell my bike and stop riding. I was like, no, don't do that, it's good. And then before I knew it, like I was in this thing where, Ollie requires a lot of energy, and then Henry does, and it's all this stuff. And like this year, like with the pandemic, you'd think, well, I'd be perfect for it, but I manage people, I can't fit it. So once I started doing that,
please pause you for 1 second. I just want to say, thanks to Jorge. Jorge's one of our like intense users. He's active in the Facebook group. He was here all night. He's got to leave. Wishing us a happy holidays. He's one of our super users. So thanks, Jorge, for hanging out. I just didn't want to interrupt you, but I wanted to make sure we acknowledge Jorge. And Jorge, very excited for you two guys to show up. He was kind of bored with me and Ryan and Hank and Ron.
Jorge, you're the best.
Mike. So he's
Still
one of
here,
our
Jorge.
good guys.
Allow me to apologize then.
Have a good night.
Couldn't
All right, Josh, keep it. Sorry, I don't want to
Anyway,
leave without saying.
So as that started to drop off, at some point, I think I got a new guitar. Like when I in like 2016, and I was like, oh, I like doing this. And then I started playing with pedals, and that's the same time I started going to shows because I couldn't ride a bike as much anymore. And so those two things dovetailed. It was like, I want to join a band. I want to learn how to play with people again. And then I bought like 10 guitars, and then I played in a band for a while, and I was like, my goal this year was I wanted to start an originals band. And so I've been like recording little things and writing little things and putting stuff together and getting used to it. At the same time that I've been listening to music, those things are kind of related. Also, I hate to like bring it down to this, but I really like gear. I like getting stuff. So like part of with the bike stuff is like, here's the bike and the parts, and like
you're a
everything on
tinkerer.
the bike is.
You like to tinker.
No,
I am. Yeah.
You are a tinkerer, but you're also a retail therapy person.
Yes, that's true too.
Yeah, to a certain extent, but also like when I like everything on my bike is custom. I learned how to do everything. I changed every part out for exactly what I want. When I get a guitar, I switch out the pickups or the electronics or whatever to be exactly what I want. Like I'm very specific about how I like things, and I want them to be tailored for exactly what I like, which is a little retail-y. Sure, like absolutely, but it's different than just that though. It's not like I just like to get stuff. I like specificity, I guess. And so all those things have that. But also like I learned how to play a lot better I'm a much better guitar player than I ever used to be. And I learned how to play with people and sing in public and do all that stuff. That's all things that I was really scared to do when I should have been doing when I was 20.
It was super fun to go biking with you, Josh. That was one of the best days of mountain biking I've ever had.
Those were really fun. I liked that day. I can't believe how long ago that was. Lately, I've been able to ride with Henry. I mean, not lately because now there's snow everywhere, but like I'm starting to take him out on trails, and like I'm out of shape, but I'm not a bad mountain biker. Like I can do it, which is kind of fun. Just a little bit because I can show him like you could do this. Just look, you can ride down this thing.
When did you guys ride together?
And hopefully,
When did you guys ride together? You and Ryan. When did that happen?
It was when my buddy Jesse was moving to Boston to go to law school. We did a road trip from California to Boston and managed to meet up with Josh. And Josh found us 2 bikes to ride with him and his crew. And we spent the day just out on the trails. It was awesome.
The bike that you rode was lent to me by a person who I got in a final argument with regarding Trump. And
final argument.
Yep. Yeah, it had been going on for a long time where he was like my sort of reasonable conservative friend, but then he said he said something dumb, and I was like, you're out of your mind. And he goes, you were making a big deal out of nothing. And I was like, we're out. I can't deal with this anymore. And so that was it. But he did he did lend you that bike.
That day of biking was when I realized that I can't hang with New England discourse when it comes to like male machismo aggressiveness.
That's awful.
It was bad.
I
I'm a polite Southern boy, and when I try to talk to folks and the immediate response is fuck you, I'm just like, whoa, I can't. Nope, sorry, I'm out. Bye.
I was
that's
on top
hold on. That's New England for everything. That's just a normal.
Well, that's fine. I still can't hang.
Fuck you. Yeah.
I'm not claiming it was anything special. I just can't hang with it.
I was at the top of this hill once. Not a mountain. It was just a big hill that we'd just gotten up. And so everybody's at the top sort of resting and filling up their water or doing whatever. And I mentioned something from a book. And I was like a big group. It was like 8 or 9 people.
Mentioned like a book, Final Straw.
I said something about a book
Fuck
and like
books.
Blank faces everywhere. And I was like, do any of you read books? And they were like, no. I was like, huh. And I wasn't trying to be like, me. They called me Fancy Pants. That was my mountain biker nickname. Not kidding.
What did they call me after the fact?
That's amazing. I'm gonna start calling you Fancy Pants, and I think we should catch it on. The patrons should call you Fancy Pants. We should emails should be addressed to Fancy Pants.
I really prefer not.
Brad, I lived in California, and no, they don't. All right, I'm sorry. Just responding to something in the chat.
They definitely do not.
Here's the thing about
just
New
don't
England.
mix.
They just don't live near each other.
Yeah,
it's bigger.
The thing about New England dudes is that there's no one scarier. Like it's like Cockney Brits. Like I used to date in my early 20s. I dated a girl who lived outside of Boston, and going to the bars was the scariest, like most fraught. You say the wrong thing, you bump up with the wrong person, and someone's getting a bottle broken over their heads. There's just so much pent up aggression and anger in all these New England dudes, and obviously not everyone, obviously, but like there's certainly a vibe there. There's a vibe there.
I used to tell when we were looking for a place to live, I said, Lindsay, I'm not going to live in Massachusetts. She's like, why not? What's the difference between Massachusetts? Because I'm 10 minutes from Massachusetts, and I was like, I'm not going to live in suburban Boston or outside. I'm not going to do it. She's like, I don't understand. I was like, I don't know how to tell you. Like, it's the most angry group of perfectly well-off white people I've ever seen in my life.
It's a very aggro group.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It just is. And I love it. I mean, I had a great time there, but like, I've never been on my eggshells in a bar situation like I have been in like Boston or outside of Boston bars, like Waltham.
We were in Boston one night and something I don't know, it was like a hockey game or whatever, but like the streets just flooded with aggro dudes like that were like we were all stuck in traffic, so they were just crossing all over. And Lindsay was like, "What is this?" I was like, "This is exactly what I'm talking about." She was like, "I understand." I was like, "Look, it's all around you."
It's interesting. It's very fascinating. Like it's like they were ready to fight at a moment's notice, and I've never had that experience in New York, and I've been in some shifty New York bars, and it seems like in New England they're ready for a fight.
It's tricky though because New Yorkers are aggro just about everything, but it's not really a violent thing so much.
No, it's not. I'm talking about violence.
They're
I'm talking
not
about the risk
nice.
of violence breaking out. Yeah.
I
would disagree. I think New Yorkers are very nice.
I don't.
I have a mixed perspective on that because I've not been to New York a ton, but one of the times I was in New York, it was the same road trip that I went out biking with Josh. We were in Manhattan, South, Lower Manhattan. I don't know what terms are. We were trying to find a place to park. We found a place to park there was a UPS or some delivery truck that was double parked, and it was blocking an available spot. And so we were like, okay, we can get this spot as soon as this guy comes out and gets in his truck and moves away. The guy was some tall building delivering packages forever. So we got our hazards on behind this guy for a while. Finally, these two Italian dudes who's sitting on a park bench nearby get fed up with watching us wait. That's how sensitive they were to the situation and start yelling at us in a helpful way. So I think this speaks to my point. Helpful, but yelling. They started yelling at us like, "What are you doing? Just pull up onto the sidewalk and back into the spot from the sidewalk." And their logic was, "What do you do if a cop comes up? He says, get off the sidewalk. You say, I'm trying to get off the sidewalk. I'm trying to park in a spot."
They had a point. They had a point.
They weren't wrong, Ryan.
What happened
We
here
did
is
helping
that
you.
I said people in New York are aggro, and Ron and Connor, who both grew up there and are sort of aware of the mores of the place, are like, no, it's fine as long as you know how to work it. As me, as a New Englander, ironically, in the part I'm in, where people are genuinely just friendly on the street to each other, like going to New York, everyone's just pissy all the
Well,
time.
New Yorkers aren't going to say hi on the street, but New Yorkers will help each other. New Yorkers will help you.
Yep.
I've never had a
They were
bad
super
experience
helpful.
with
They were
someone.
super
If you
helpful.
need
To be
help,
fair,
if you
what
need
you were
help, they
saying-
will always help.
What you were saying about New England isn't really true about New England. It's
Boston. It's Boston.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
Because
Boston.
Maine is the friendliest fucking people on earth, but there are like laws and understandings about how to comport yourself in New York that I think are difficult if you're not from there. I found it very, very aggressive to the point that it totally tired me out.
Yeah, I think there's a New Yorkers just they don't want their time wasted. They will help you, but they also don't want you to waste your time.
I was the guy who I got stopped. Lindsay and I got stopped for directions all the time. Like I was just, I guess, what must have been the least threatening man on the street at any given moment, constantly.
Or you were moving the slowest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, we never introed the show. We've got 10 minutes left. Hey, welcome to December's Hangout. This is the last one of the year.
Men in Vermont are either stoned or conservative lunatics.
Are they conservative or are they like libertarian, like just
No,
living
it's
in
not
their
libertarianism. It's like rural, like almost like survivalist kind of thing. It's either that or, just like stoned out hippie types like in Ithaca.
I read an article in the New York Times about the influx of people from New York and LA moving to Vermont, and it was hilarious. The culture clash sounded delicious.
I've seen that. It's weird.
There's a show in there somewhere.
Where it's just New York people everywhere, and it's just like, it's very off-putting.
It's like LA. So this is our last hangout of the year, as we got 10 minutes to go. And as we've mentioned in social media, this is our last open to everyone hangout. In January, we'll go back to being just for patrons, a perk for patrons. So if you're someone who's been watching these throughout the year, has been in lockdown, and you want to continue, and you're not a patron, the only way you can do that is become a patron, patreon.com/iFanboy. For as little as $1, you can become a patron. $1 a month. So if you're enjoying this drunken revelry, which we've been going into for almost 3 hours now, it'll be going back to only patrons. You can see Ron's doing work right now. From his face, you can tell.
Sorry,
okay.
There's a problem with the Google Maps API in the Scorbit app, so we're trying to debug it now.
You guys haven't got the story. Look at the background of Ryan's screen there. You can see the Christmas lights. Isn't that
Very
nice?
nice.
Isn't that
Very
festive?
nice.
I didn't
So
do
that's
it.
the
My
out.
neighbor.
That's the street back there. Obviously, it's the street. You can see your neighbor.
Traffic circle.
A traffic circle.
Yeah,
Really?
All right, so
You're
hang
Rotary
on.
adjacent?
Hang on. So in the last 10 minutes of the show, I know this year has been a dumpster fire and it's been all stuff like that, but I want each of you to go back in your memory of 2020 as it relates specifically to iFanboy and share with everyone your favorite thing of 2020 as it relates to iFanboy. It could be a comic book. It could be a joke on the podcast. It could be something from one of these live streams. It could be anything. But when you think of 2020 iFanboy, favorite thing, Connor, go.
It's a cop out, but honestly, doing the show every week is still my favorite thing that I do every week. Whatever show it is, whether it's the Media Split where Ron joins, whether it's a special edition where Ryan joins, or when he subs in for Josh, or when he just joins Josh and I, the four of us here, are sort of the regular hosts of the various iFanboy shows, and doing the shows is still my favorite thing. Putting the shows together, editing the shows, creating them. I still have the most fun doing that. I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning on Fridays to record the regular show with Josh, and I'm loopy and I'm tired. I'm still hacking up my allergies stuff, but I laugh more doing these shows than I do with anything else, and I still love it. I just finished editing this week's show this morning. I'm almost done with editing the All Media show. It's super fun. I enjoy doing them. I enjoy listening to them as I'm editing them. I still love doing the shows. That's great.
I was gonna say that is that like there's in a world, in a time that like sort of you're kind of dodging stuff all the time. I know that when we do that hour and 20, there will be a thing that we will laugh at really hard, and it will be, you know, like just a recent example that we're reading Spy Island, and issue number 4, her father is a mime, and he was a thief, and then he's underwater trying to steal something, and I realized that the mime is inside the sea suit, and he's I can't even say it. He's smoking inside his underwater suit. And it's not, there's no attention brought to it. It's just a French mime with a cigarette lit inside his like old-timey undersea diving suit. And I thought, I still think that's hilarious. But like little things like that will happen all the time. And like that is the best part. It's funny, I cannot remember a time, and I really like literally can't remember a time where we did one of our shows and at the end of it I was like, it's fine or whatever. Like it is always a mood lifter every single time, and that's a gift.
It's a glorious thing. Ryan, how about you, sir, doctor?
I honestly, I love when Connor invites me on the show because Josh isn't available. But when Josh is available and we all get to like riff on each other together, time, hey, cut it out. It's super special, and honestly, I think just being super hungover on the Thanksgiving show was my favorite moment because I was hungover as shit. Like Connor texted me, he's like, "Did you just wake up?" And I was like, "Yes, I had." And we were recording at noon, and that was great because I needed the relief, I needed the break, and yeah.
I forgot to mention I meant to mention this was the first year since our second year where I didn't miss a show because I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't go on vacation.
Yeah. How about that?
So this was the first year. Josh missed one show, I think, for his birthday before the pandemic happened this year. But this was the first year since I think I did the first 120 episodes in a row straight when we first started. So it had been a decade or more since I'd not missed a show. This is the first year I didn't miss a show.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Ron.
Wow. Yet I still did more picks than you.
Yeah, weird, right? Math is weird.
How does that work? I would say math is weird. I would say these, but the addition of the media explodes because that means I got to go back to podcasting with you guys on a regular basis, albeit once a month. But just being able to just shoot the shit for an hour and talk about the stuff that we do. Like I don't think that there's similarly there's any easier thing that done in my adult life than making these shows with you guys. So that is always a highlight for.
So you're saying we're better than All About Android?
No, it's different. It's different. I mean,
whoa.
He said no, Josh. He said no.
No, I would say it's different. No, I'm clarifying. I would say it's
really
different.
So are those guys your brothers and life partners too? Is that how
I've known you since I was 17 years old.
It's true. I've been working with Jason. Wow. I've been working with Jason for nearly a decade now. So he you got to give Jason Howell a little credit.
I'm not saying look at that. I'm just saying we're better.
No, I was saying
we're better.
I would say you're better, but I would say that the difference is that I need to work for All About Android. Like I need to actually prep and research and like know what I'm talking about. Whereas with this, it's effortless. It's effortless in the best possible way. So, best New Mutants run. I don't know. It's probably Demon Bear era stuff. Claremont, Sienkiewicz, that stuff.
Ron, did you see the movie?
No, not yet.
You plan to?
No, I don't know. Maybe at some point. I don't know. Who knows? No.
Josh, what's weird is you and I have not hung out since you started drinking coffee or alcohol.
I pretty much stopped drinking alcohol.
Ron's been drinking for a while.
No, Josh.
Oh, Josh.
Josh
really drink. Josh only drinks it occasionally.
But there was a while where Connor and Josh were not coffee people.
I've never had coffee in my life.
Insane.
I want to say that I started drinking coffee around the time that Henry was born. So
I drink tea all the time. Strong black tea. I think the first time I had a drink with Ron was at Josh's wedding.
About right.
Wasn't it? That's about when you started drinking again. And that was, I think we were at a bar the night before. Someone lost their bank card. Was it me?
I have no fucking clue.
It was me.
Was it you?
I had to borrow money from Amy Woods to get home. That's right. I had to borrow a bus fare to get back from Boston. I lost my bank card at the bar.
I don't remember. I vaguely remember any of that weekend. I just remember. I remember a joke about the gutter.
Oh, Tegan passed out in it.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
That's what happened.
That wasn't a
Tegan passed-
joke. That was a real event.
He literally passed. Josh's brother literally passed out in the gutter outside the hotel on Josh's wedding. That was a great night. So we still have some more time.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how we're better than All About Android some more.
There's definitely a more emotional bond here. I'll give you that.
I would hope so. God damn it! Jesus Christ!
This got real
here.
like.
Wait,
I know
I got a question.
Hey.
I got a question.
This
Ron,
is
do you remember when you invited me on
Yeah.
board?
Of course, it was a fun night. Sushi, Japanese food.
But you didn't eat any sushi.
I don't eat sushi. I eat Japanese food.
He's the
I
chicken
love
teriyaki
He
guy.
doesn't eat sushi.
I love yakitori. I love Japanese cuisine.
Do your All About Android folks know you don't eat sushi? I know
Yes.
you don't eat sushi. Jerk. 17 years old, Ron. That's when we met.
I mean, we've known
This
each
is
other.
great because
Teenagers.
it's like you came
Teenagers, and we're
home
almost
from
awake.
work and like, how was work? And it's like, we got together with Carol. Oh, Carol from work, huh? Her? No, she's real pretty.
It is wild.
I guess if you like that kind of thing.
It is wild to think that we have known each other longer than we have not known each other.
We were
Ooh.
teenagers when we met. We
Yeah.
are
I feel like it's
older
weird that
now.
Connor is the most jealous one.
It is weird.
Because I knew Ron first. I knew Ron freshman year of college. I didn't become friends with Josh till later.
Doesn't change that it's weird. Doesn't change
Well,
that
because
in your
that's
spread-
why,
in your
because
spread
I have-
sheet,
I've
Let's
but
dig
told
into
that-
this.
I've got
told
decades into Ron.
I've told
Decades.
this invested. It's an investment. I've told this story before, but Ryan, you'll appreciate it. Connor and I were in our very first 101 class in college together, and before we were friends. And this is like end of September, first month of college. 17 years. I was 18. Connor was 17. 18. Like not knowing anything. All I knew was that this class ended at 11:50, and lunch was next. And we're 3 weeks into college, and every day Connor has multiple women waiting for him outside the classroom for him to get out to go to lunch with him. And I was like, who is this guy?
That's
So
right.
that is my earliest memory of Connor.
The irony is, though, that I was in college orientation with Josh, so I technically met Josh first, but we didn't meet. I just remember him from orientation. He doesn't remember me, but
I was
remember
scared
him.
out of my mind in orientation.
of
that was
Connor
awful.
or just in general.
No, everything. I had no idea what I was doing. I don't know how the world works. Question though, because you said you think it's odd that Connor was the one who was upset, which would indicate that you would think that I would be more upset about that. And I'd like to dig into this a little bit.
Let's dig in.
We're going over
Let's dig
time
in.
to dig into this. We're going over time to dig into this, which is fine.
What is that? What are you insinuating? You think that I'm more emotional? Do I amuse you like a
Or
clown?
that you don't care.
I mean, you're the Vertigo guy. Of course, you're more emotional.
Oh, I see. It's my emo-ness, really.
Yeah, it's the Sandman ness of it all.
So here's what's actually happening. I have been married longer than any of these people, and you kind of have to settle into, hey, it is what it is. We have to trust our love. Every day isn't going to be exactly what you want, and maybe not every. But
You're saying Connor doesn't trust the love?
I don't. What's happening here?
He's just not settled in as much. He hasn't been. I don't think he's been run over in life quite so much.
What are you talking about? What is happening right now?
You live a more carefree existence.
I feel like
I live a carefree existence.
More
I
so.
feel like I've set up a
Are you out of
grenade.
your mind?
Well,
I'm
I mean,
hitting 24/7.
You have a lot of personal complications that come up.
Yeah.
But it's always like, my router's broken.
That's like the least of my problems in a given day.
I know, that's true. I mean, your body is completely destroyed. There is that.
I feel like no matter what Connor's problems are, there's a spreadsheet.
Well, I was actually about to make that. I was going to make that joke earlier about the girls on the way to lunch. And I was like, but the thing that Ron didn't know is that there was a spreadsheet. It was rudimentary. He didn't know how to do sheets yet.
No, what was great is
formulate.
that it was a legit spreadsheet. It was a piece of paper with the pencil. It was like
Printed it out on dot matrix.
Yeah,
And he
exactly.
Connor's the kind of guy, like, he would print it out and he'd have to tear off the side bits, but if he got it wrong, he'd print it out again. Like, if there was any, like...
Listen,
Look, I'm right.
We'll wrap this up. College was our first time with email, at least for me. And so at the end of freshman year, I went into the computer lab and printed out all of my emails.
No, and he did that at the last day of his last job too.
Amazing. That is just
Connor,
that
do
is
you have a
like
business card?
No,
not the new job.
I haven't even met anybody in person that I work with.
Does that drive you a little crazy?
As I like to tell people, they're all pixels on a screen. If it went away tomorrow, it's like whatever. I've never met these people.
You've
They're
got
not
no,
real.
you've got no,
You tell the work people that?
I've told them that. Yeah, you're pixels.
I don't care about you.
I don't know.
Let me
anything
ask you this: we got to wrap it up. It's fine, but Connor, you hate working from home. You hate it.
Yeah, I don't like it. Yeah.
Ryan, how do you feel about it?
About work for film?
Working from home.
Oh, working
Like
from
as a
home. Oh,
thing.
it's awful.
Really?
It's awful.
Well,
It's awful.
It's awful. It's awful in my 1-bedroom apartment where my wife and I both have to do it. If it was just one of us, it would be totally manageable.
Okay.
I like going
So
to a work, having a bar to go to after work, leaving work, and being like, "I've left work now. Stop bothering me." Like there needs to be a separation between work and life.
I miss the commute because I mostly biked last year, and that was nice for the. I had a fellowship, a policy fellowship, and it was really nice. So
Lunch spots,
bike,
places to go to
lunch spots. I miss lunch spots.
Yep.
I miss biking. I miss the separation. I miss the diversity. Like I don't hate it on principle, but I hate the reason that we have to do it, and I hate the way that it's been applied to all of our lives simultaneously, and that we don't have a space that we can set up to make it work for both Julie and I simultaneously well.
But those are logistical options to a certain extent. But because the fact is, I have worked from home for I think 12 and a half years now, and I quite like it. I'm a big fan of it. And Connor thinks that I'm the only person like that, and that I'm insane.
I don't think you're the only one, but I think you're insane.
Fair enough. I mean, I have problems.
No. I think. Look, I don't think you're insane. I think clearly you like it for sure. If
I could work from home but had better space distribution with Julie, and not that like we bother each other, but it's hard because we overlap.
You know what? When we first moved here, Lindsay and I were both working from home, and I could not work in the same room as her. I just was like, I just need to be. So I like to be alone when I'm working, and so nobody was here for a really long time. So I would just work downstairs on the couch or wherever. And now that I fixed up my office again, like I'm in here all the time, and it's great. And the separation thing is the thing that just happens. Like you do it eventually. You just get good at it.
I don't like to talk out loud when other people can hear me when it's not a conversation with Julie. Like that to me is weird and puts me in a weird performance space where I'm like simultaneously knowing that she can hear me, that everyone else can hear me, but she can't hear
I would
you.
totally do that to her. She would call somebody for like a photography thing, and I was like, "Okay, you can't sound. Don't make that sound when you're talking to people," and which is the most annoying thing ever. But fair. It's same to what you're saying.
And it took me.
I say I don't know how Ron feels because we work in somewhat similar industries, but like collaborating over Slack and video calls is not as fun as getting in a room with somebody and hashing a project out.
No, it's not.
It's way less efficient. Less efficient.
There are some things that definitely there's some efficient, at least for at least my work and my job, there have been some efficiencies that can be had through what's been going on through remote work, and like we're able to do it. But there's often times where it's like literally maddening to get on a Zoom call and have to work through something when I want to get in the room with people with a whiteboard and just kind of hash it out. Yeah. So
it would take an hour to hash
my
out
job
a
is
whiteboard.
very uncreative.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like in terms of like working on a project, a creative project in a team, it fucking sucks this way. It's like,
Ron, to tell you,
where's the link? Where's the latest document? Who's got the latest one? It's like version controls. It's just
we do it.
We don't.
Yeah, but you did it before the end times. Yeah. You were used to it in a non-pressurized setting.
No, that's totally true. And like I've watched everybody have to go through everybody else in my office have to go through the learn how to work from home thing, and I think it takes
like the number of podcasts I listen to where our podcasts have always been remote, but the number of podcasts I've listened to where they've had to adjust in the coronavirus times of like, oh, I guess we're recording remotely now. I'm like, yeah, like all the podcasts before you started doing one. Like, I have zero
All right.
sympathy for you.
Nice, wrap it up.
This was fun, guys. I always enjoy this hangout.
It was a blast, and if anybody is watching that isn't a patron, I encourage you to just do the lowest level, and you could keep doing these every month.
So
So
these are going to go back to being patrons only in January. Thanks for all. My left ear won't hold these. My right ear, no problem. It's constantly falling out of my left ear.
See what I'm talking about?
Yeah. So anyway, this is fun, guys. Thanks everyone for hanging out. This is the end of 2020. This year can go screw. We look for better times next year. Thanks for coming to our drunken revelries, and we'll talk to you soon.
It's just water.
Anyone else? Any other words?
Happy holidays, happy New Year's. Thank you for everything.
Happy
Stay
Hanukkah.
safe, be good. Next year's got to be better.
Bye, everyone.
Don't
High fives from Clementine.
Ending the broadcast.